views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at talkrealsolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of talkrealsolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not talkrealsolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
All right. Welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am your host tonight, Tyrone Thompson. I want to thank you for tuning in. And before I go any further, I want to see if my audio working. I went a whole show last week, and my audio was jacked up. It sounds like it's working. But anyway, welcome to the show. I'm your host tonight, and if you want to call in to the show, all you have to do is dial the number at 1-717-908-1834, and I'll get you on the line here, and you can share your opinions, introduce your thoughts, and we can have a conversation like we normally do. One more thing I'm gonna check. Check. Yeah, it's working. All right, and we can get into it. Let's call the number 717-908-1834 and hit the access code at 642-794. And I hope since I changed this thing, I hope that the nobody hasn't been trolling the show no more. See, I haven't got no more complaints, so maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was people with access to the board that I from a while back or whatever, that was getting on the board messing with people. I don't know, but it seems like it's working. All right, so I guess we can just get into the conversation. Y'all know me. I talk about politics, things that I think is important in the black community. I don't know, celebrity gossip, if you want to label it that way, and just whatever's going on in current events. I try to touch on that stuff. And of course, my opinions don't agree with a lot of people. So that's part of being American. You can have different thoughts and process things differently. And you are right. You know, you ain't got to swell up and get mad about it, you know. Because I think differently than a lot of people. And people take a lot of this stuff seriously. That's kind of why I stopped. I didn't stop. I guess I did stop. That's kind of why I pulled back on the religious stuff, because even though I think how I think and all that kind of stuff, that really pisses people off. But if I'm faced with an opportunity to tell the truth about that fake ass religion, then I will. I haven't pulled away from it that much, and I haven't changed my mind and started believing in fairies and shit, you know, and flat earths and aliens building the pyramids and all of that. I ain't like that, you know. That's just me. But yeah, welcome to the show. So I guess we just might as well jump right on in. We had the Super Bowl. I don't watch sports, so I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I didn't watch Bad Bunny's halftime show, but what I did do was while it was on, I played it because I wanted, you know, I wanted to support the people that were supporting the halftime show, because MAGA and that crew was trying to, you know, play their little halftime at the same time as Bad Bunny, and you know, I don't want to try to give them people no credit, so and getting the tally of how people responded to Bad Bunny's halftime show, it was all positives. It was majority positive, and people loved it. Even people that couldn't understand it and all that kind of stuff, they said it was good spectacle. They liked the entertainment. They liked the storytelling of his stage presence with all the history about Puerto Rico and all that kind of stuff and their struggle. So I should have watched it, because afterwards, after I would have seen it, then and heard people talk about it, then it would have made sense to me and put it in perspective historically, how Puerto Rico came into existence. It didn't go that deep, but it told stories about Puerto Rican people and some of their trials and tribulations and suffering and all that kind of stuff. And Bad Bunny, as a entertainer, it kind of told a little short story about him coming up and all that kind of stuff. So it seemed like it was my line of thinking, but I know I don't speak Spanish, so I support the fact that he was able to get on the Super Bowl as an entertainer and celebrate their heritage and all that kind of stuff, because hell, this is America, and that's what people supposed to do, and he took advantage of that and did it, and he represented his people well. So I can't hate on any of that, But y'all know me. I feel like I would have been showing more support, and this is just speaking honestly, if you wouldn't have had this time period where we can actually qualify the Latinos for Trump. Oh, somebody pushed one. Let me see who this is. Who is this? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't normally punch in this early,
Uh-huh.
but if I could have a minute, you just made me think of something with the Bad Bunny stuff. Do you remember a song? And I did the same as you. I wasn't really, not to say that I don't know Bad Bunny. I don't listen to his music or whatever like that. But I did kind of pay attention to the halftime show. I really didn't pay that much attention, but I looked at it a little bit. Didn't understand much, but I'm kind of the same as you. I damn sure ain't turning to no whatever those other cats were doing, right? But you made me remember a song just now, and it kind of falls into how far we've come. Do you remember that song, Macarena? What's it called, Macarena?
Yeah.
Macarena?
Yeah.
Macarena. Hey, Macarena. All right. And people used to dance. Now, I know that was a long time ago when we were young back then. But I used to see people dancing to that damn song, doing the dance, and not understanding the damn words. Whoever that was that made the song was saying, and the people had fun doing that. I think it was a number one damn song, and I just wanted to bring it up to contrast with how far we have fallen. Now we are taking music now and putting a political spin on it. It's like we're crazy, man.
I agree with you.
That's all I wanted to say, bro, because I just thought of that dang on song, bro. And, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I'll go back on mute. Thanks, man.
All right. Well, yeah, Howard bring up a good point. There wasn't all of this back and forth in politics when it came to music for a long time, as long as I can remember, except for when Donald Trump came into office. That's when everything became political, left side or right side and all that kind of stuff. Even the beginning of TRS, our debates didn't have a political side. If you think way back on Blog Talk Radio, it was just us sharing our points on whatever topic and trying to say whether it was right or wrong, justified or unjustified. and just basically talking about the individual's values and morals when it comes to certain issues. But now everything, every topic, every subject, everything that we talk about in this country is political, including music. And it is sad that in the year 2026, that after the halftime show with Bad Bunny, I seen him doing an interview. It was like a short, and he was explaining why he was wearing that jersey the way he was, and the numbers stood for something significant, something about his father age and all that kind of stuff. But the point that I want to point out, if you look at Bad Bunny outfit, he said that he was wearing a bulletproof vest. And I was like, what? He was wearing a bulletproof vest.
You kid, Tyrone. He wearing a bulletproof vest under that?
I mean,
Why?
the short that let me see, the short that I seen said it was. So that's why I'm verifying it while I'm on the phone here. Before I go further.
That's crazy, man. Wow.
Okay, well, y'all see the pictures of him and why his shoulders is wide and stuff like that. Well, they saying it's false claims, but what the hell did somebody must have put up a damn one of them AI shorts? So I might be wrong, but this is. Hold on, here go Yahoo News. Okay, so I'm just gonna go. I'm not gonna point this out as fact, but I kind of believe it. If you look at the outfit that this guy got on, the short that I seen said that he was wearing a bulletproof vest, and he had security, and he said he hired 100 security guards in those grasses out there just in case anything went on. And the point that I'm trying to make, if this what I'm saying is true, is this is the condition that we're living in 2026, is that performers have to, because of politics, is invited was installed into every aspect of our life. People are in fear of their life and having to do stuff like that if it's true, So I can't read fast enough to verify what I'm saying. So an interview in which he admitted to wearing one have been widely reported by reliable media outlets. See, and this is what I'm saying. That's probably what I seen. It said the rumor that Bad Bunny wore a bulletproof vest during the Super Bowl performance spread widely online in the days after the event. So an interview in which he admitted to wearing one have been widely reported by reliable media outlets.
If he did, I don't blame him.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'm not gonna say whether he did or didn't, but I'm saying if he did, then this is what extreme politics and cult-like behavior has caused in this society, to where people have to take drastic measures to protect themselves. And all this man did, I do not know this man. He's a good-looking man, no homo, but I know that he's kind of, on the gay side or whatever is what they say. But my point with saying all of that is this is a American that has a career singing, and he's very popular, and just because of his skin color and his background and his heritage, just threats are out there on this man's life. The government of the United States of America threatened to have armed personnel show up at this event because of this man's skin color. Christine Nome, the Homeland Security, said that ICE was going to be at the Super Bowl. And that's why all of this situational awareness and threat and security was taken with Bad Bunny. And that's probably why he didn't spend a lot of time on that damn stage, just thinking strategically and out there in them sugar canes and that grass and walking through the field, because, I mean, he didn't want to be a damn target. And that's smart thinking. I don't know if that was the case or not, but if you think about it, the Kendrick Lamar show, you seen Kendrick Lamar on the stage out there in front all the time doing his performance. But when I look at shorts of this guy, he's walking through the fields, dropping through roofs. He's out of the way. In only a short time was he on the light pole or on the stage and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. The threats could have been real. Somebody else pushed the warrant. So let me see who this is. Unknown caller, who is this?
Yeah, hey, what's up, guys? How are you?
What's up, Joe?
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, what's happening, Joe?
Yeah. Do you believe probably about a third of the country didn't even realize Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory?
Yeah, that's Howard and Sarge. Not Howard, but ABC and Sarge don't believe that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, when you move on to another topic, Sarge dropped a Sargism last night that kind of really, it was the mother of all Sargisms.
Well, you can say what it is. What's up, ABC and East Coast?
Yeah, Sarge is relitigating the 2024 election, and using thoroughly debunked conspiracy theories that have already been talked about before. And he said to me last night that 2000 mules, back in focus, and he said they can look at a car now, and they have some sort of magic technology that allows them to look at a car and tell the exact cell phone number of the person in the car. I said, really? So are we at that stage now? Star Trek stage? So apparently he believes this. And I guess in the MAGA world where anything is possible, and the wish fairy grants all these strange and lovely wishes, and I guess it is the possibility.
Well, there's some truth to what Sarge is saying, and okay, so if you got Sirius XM and it's hooked to your car, that is hooked to your telephone number and all that kind of stuff. You get what I'm saying? So maybe.
No, but Tyrone, hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. He's saying that a person in another car can look at a car and tell that person's cell phone number.
But no, that's not true.
And particular cell phone. True. I know. That's what he's saying. And I'm looking at this dude like, we in the land of wishes where unicorns shit, sparkles and glitter, and the Republican wish fairy grants all everybody's dreams. And so I can't.
Yeah, so I immediately trying to validate what he was saying, and I thought about the satellite systems in the car. But if he's saying that you can sit in another car and look at another car and tell their phone number, that's not true.
Yeah. But back to Bad Bunny, it's really interesting that a lot of people don't get what the show is about, and that halftime show has always been semi-political, From Janet Jackson exposing, her breast, to I forgot what other performers have gone on there and, subliminally and overtly spread messages. But in this particular case, a lot of people don't realize that the NFL wants to expand to Latin American countries. So it's a whole new market for them. And so they realize, like, hey, American viewership is pretty much set. You are not creating a whole lot of new American viewers. And so that means that your advertising dollars are going to be capped because you're not bringing in new viewers. In fact, American viewers are getting smaller because Americans are dying out. So in order to keep your base, so to speak, that you can pull advertising dollars for, you have to bring in new groups. And the biggest group right now are Latin Americans. This is why baseball, if you notice, baseball already made that turn. Baseball made that turn, to directly appeal to Latin America by opening up training camps in the DR and in Mexico. You're going to have a USA versus Mexico baseball tournament coming up, where the pros are playing in it. So I'm saying, all these guys are looking down the road and looking at the future. And the future for lack of a better word, as it looks right now, the future speaks Spanish.
Well, that's understandable because if you look at football as a strictly American sport, then you can only have but so much audience participation, right? Even though some people might like it in other parts of the world, but you're not going to have the kind of turnout that you have in the United States of America across the world with football. So it's a smart decision for them to reach out to the rest of the world. That's how soccer is so big, because every other goddamn country plays soccer and it's their national sport or whatever. So soccer gets a way bigger outcome than American football does globally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Right.
I see them
and
trying
that's
to reach
what I
into
was
that.
telling them.
Mhm.
That's what I was telling them the other day, that the NFL is trying to reach an international audience. And I saw a comparison for the Super Bowl, which is the biggest damn American football game. It got like something 200 million viewers. The same, I don't know if it was the same day or the next day or something, there was a soccer game between Manchester United and I think it was Arsenal or somebody, a regular soccer game throughout the world, a regular. This ain't a championship game or nothing. It got 700 million people watching that game. And it was a regular game, nothing special. But the most special football game got 200 million. So they're trying to tap into the international audience.
Yeah.
And trying to grow their thing, because football is not, they ain't playing football in certain parts of South America, whatever. But hey, you put that one soccer ball down, that's all you need, and need some people, and you can make your own goal, and then they can go out there and play. They do it in Africa, South America, Europe, everywhere. They play soccer every damn where. That's the number one sport in the world.
Yep.
And I don't think a lot of people know that. I don't think a lot of U.S. people know that.
No. So I can see the NFL strategy, man. And in order for them to try to touch that audience, of course they're going to have shows like Bad Bunnies. So let me see who these two callers is. I open two lines. Who is this?
Big Will.
Big Will, and who's the other caller?
OC.
OC. Okay, so go ahead, Big Will.
If I'm not mistaken, the NFL football, American football, is probably the least populated sport in the world, right or wrong. I could be wrong, but I think it is. Like Howard was saying, soccer is worldwide. Almost every country has a soccer team or soccer teams that play professionally, Olympics, or whatever the case may be. NFL, probably at the bottom of the barrel. Next to I don't fucking know, but it's probably the bottom of the barrel as far as professional sport. I didn't watch the halftime show. Hell, I barely watched the Super Bowl game, but I did see a little clip a little while ago about Bad Bunny's performance. I saw something about sugar canes. Sugar canes represented Puerto Rico. People in Puerto Rico dying for sugar cane for the world, or whatever the case may be. Some shit like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but that's pretty much where it came from. So he's doing like a
you on point.
little bit of
you on
history.
point, Big Will.
Okay, I appreciate it, bro. Number two, I don't know how true this clip I saw on Instagram a little while ago. I should have sent it to the TRS chat, but those people dressed up as sugar canes or whatever were his protection as well, because supposedly some shit was supposed to be popping off.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Off.
Yeah.
The jersey he had on, 64, represented the year his mother was born, and the number his uncle wore playing football as well. Maybe high school, college, I don't know. Middle school, I don't know. Top Warner, whatever. But that was his uncle's number as well. So he did some heritage type shit, which I respect. Like I said, I don't know shit about the Super Bowl halftime show. I didn't watch it. Like I said, I watched like part of the third and the fourth and dip. Shit was boring. But like you said, NFL probably has the lowest rating ever. I mean, probably has the lowest rating out of all sports combined. Small tail Jamaica. Them Jamaicans take that game serious.
As far as
Right,
international ratings, yeah,
Right.
we gotta make sure we keep that in perspective. International ratings, they are low. In America, they are really high.
But internationally, it's being shown. Case in point, 20-some years ago, I'm in Japan about to do a field exercise. They stopped the field exercise so we could watch the NFL at fucking something 800 hours in the morning, 700 hours, some shit like that. I forget what it was. But they stopped everything, the whole island, to watch the NFL. I'm like, this is some bullshit. But Bad Bunny, like I said, I might go try to find it on YouTube or something and get his and see what it's about. And like I said, I don't know shit about dude. I don't listen to nobody current really, as far as R&B, hip hop, anything. I'm still stuck in the early 2000s and late 90s, or in the 90s and 80s. But if dude got some substance, some historical concept behind his shit, yeah, I support that. Be Puerto Rican, which is a government territory.
So why did he climb on the pole? Do y'all know why he climbed on that power pole?
Yeah, they was talking about how the reaction to the United States and its response to Puerto Rico and the power outages over there in Puerto Rico and all that kind of stuff. They're saying that the government ain't providing no type of subsidies for their infrastructure, their electrical infrastructure.
Exactly. Them people had to go up and climb on them damn poles to get power because Trump didn't send no help, bro. He did some shit. He did shit like Kendrick Lamar. We was fawning over Kendrick Lamar, which we should have been, but he did the same thing for his folk. And although I didn't understand none of it, but I'm not hating. That's my stance.
No. All of it has stories, and I'm gonna get to you, Big OC. All of it has stories. Even those little vendors on the field, they was talking about the gentrification of Puerto Rican businesses in New York, and then one lady stood out because they did, like a report on her and said that the gentrification in New York was trying to close down that Puerto Rican business, so that's why she was out there. She was actually the business owner in New York. But go ahead, Big OC.
What's up, y'all? I just tapped in a few minutes ago. Is the main conversation Bad Bunny?
No, you know how we do over here. You can talk about whatever you want to, man.
No, I understand. You know, the NFL, man, we got to look at the NFL trying to get eyeballs. I understand that. There's a lot of American football that's played in a lot of other countries. You know, at the end of the day, like soccer, you know, you can the barrier of entry into soccer isn't as hard as it is for football. That's why you can be worldwide with that soccer thing like that. But football is still a growing sport in a lot of those other countries, and I think they're just increasing the pool of players. It's only a matter of time before you get you a true Korean or a full Japanese, you know, player over here, and then that's just, you know, the phenomenon. If you look at the Dodgers, and I'm sure Howard, the Dodgers got them Asian boys on there, Otani, and I don't remember the other one's name, but I ain't never seen Asians really rep any team the way they rep the Dodgers and that Otani boy.
That's baseball, right?
A lot. Yeah, that's baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's baseball, Tyrone. Otani and that other pitcher, I forgot his damn name too, but he a famous motherfucker too. overseas famous, but we can't even remember his damn name. But he's famous as fuck overseas. But go ahead.
So I just think the NFL can understand that phenomenon right there. So you expand your pool, you start to get more players from overseas because there are a lot of NFL players that came from overseas. They were American. At the end of the day, they weren't really where they were from. Like, for example, who's the white boy? He used to be quarterback with the Colts. I can't remember. He was born in a whole nother country, man. So this football thing will spread, and I just think the pool of people that they are trying to get access to will just get bigger. But I think the controversy with
it's
Bad
business.
Bunny,
It's business, bro.
Right. But see, white folks for some odd reason think the NFL is theirs, and I wish somebody would come out and just mainstream put that history out there of when y'all didn't want no niggas in the NFL. While you talking about we can't have no Mexicans singing, it's like we black people, we can't just sit back and let them create the narrative of this some shit was just about Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't want us there at all. You know what I'm saying? Now you have to bite your tongue that most of the players are black, but you can always see the influence where they're always trying to find them a white hope. So even though the white boy won from Seattle, I don't think that's who they really wanted to win. I think they wanted the other white boy to win it. But, it's business, and then it's still, I believe, a racial component in this NFL shit still. I think they're playing up to that shit. And, yeah, Jay-Z's in charge of the music, so I think he's one of those ones, too, that may have his ear to the street as far as what can be big and controversial at the same time, because this shit was big. Because people keep talking shit about Bad Bunny. Who is this guy? I never heard of him. I think people are lying. That song.
So you think he made the right pick? You think he made the right pick, don't you?
Oh yeah,
I think
you talking about that song with Cardi B? I like it like that, right?
No, that one plus even the other one. The first song he sang, Titi Mugontro, Muchos Novias.
Yeah.
Muchos Novias. That shit is played on all radio stations. You know what I'm saying? It's on commercials.
That's a fact.
That shit is coming out of elevators. It's in the shopping malls. So I know those in all other games, basketball, football. If you in the stadium, you're gonna hear that goddamn song. That's how big he is. You're talking about somebody that people.
That's why I told
to play
Tyrone I compared it to the Macarena. That shit was played everywhere. Ain't nobody understood. I don't even know what a Macarena is. I know what a macaroon cookie is. I don't know what a Macarena is.
Howard, this is what you can compare it to. And he had that person out there, living la vida loca. Remember
that was Ricky Martin, right?
Ricky Martin. Ricky Martin was out there performing too.
Yeah.
And people want to leave him out of it, but once again, that's how big Homeboy is. Even bigger. It stretches even further. You're talking about this cat has more streams.
That dude is the number one selling artist on the planet, bro.
Well, see, and if you look at it, us dumb Americans, and I'm talking specifically about white America, but America is stupid to not recognize how popular this guy is. And not only that, X him out of a sport that is trying to reach out to have global recognition and be selfish and say that nobody can't appreciate American football except for country ass white people. That's the dumbest, selfish shit that I ever heard.
They really trying to claim the sport, Tyrone.
Yeah. Here, I got this. I got this. I got this MP3 from Megan Kelly. I'm pretty sure you guys heard it. Let me play this.
I'm sorry, Piers, but to get up there and perform the whole show in Spanish is a middle finger to the rest of America. Who gives a damn that we have 40 million? Spanish speakers in the United States. We have 310 million who don't speak a lick of Spanish. This is supposed to be a unifying event for the country, not for the Latinos, not for one small group, but for the country. We don't need a black national anthem. We don't need a Spanish-speaking, non-English performer, and we don't need an ICE or America hater featured as our primetime entertainment.
Well, see, that's the way America thinks right there. And when I hear that, and when I see the response to the Super Bowl for white America, what it makes me think about is those separate water fountains, those separate bathrooms back in the day. They want to have their own area that is just white. That's why they came up with that Turning Point USA half-ball concert that failed.
We don't need the black national
but it's the same
anthem.
it's the same mentality from back in the day. These white people have not changed, and this is why I keep saying these are some evil motherfuckers, and fuck them. I don't know what else to say. They just fucking evil, and they prove my point. This stupid bitch that just got finished talking proved my point how evil white America is. Instead of accepting the sport.
Who was that woman?
That was Megyn
Who
Kelly.
was that one?
That was Megyn Kelly.
Megyn Kelly on The View?
No, Megyn Kelly, the white racist Fox host that got fired from Fox and then got fired from MSNBC for saying Santa Claus is black, Jesus is black. Megyn Kelly, that racist bitch that used to be on Fox.
Hey Tyrone, I just told you the way they talk is what we should invoke is you trying to talk about the times when you didn't even want no black players.
Yeah, and that's the whole funny thing about the Super Bowl.
That's as strong as they were.
That's the funny thing about the Super Bowl is the white people are claiming it, but who's on the fucking field? Who's entertaining you? Who's bringing you all the fucking
they still the owners, Tyrone. They the owners, so they claim it through ownership.
Oh, what the fuck
y'all
ever?
niggas is the help still.
Well, that's a problem too. That is a problem too. These damn people ain't gonna change.
Still no black owners. Still no black owners, man. So y'all are the help.
These people ain't gonna change, man. They're gonna be the same, and Donald Trump has made it worse. And these people are emboldened now that they can just blatantly say dumb shit like that.
Hey, hold on. I love Donald Trump. Hold on.
Okay.
I love Donald Trump.
Well, there's something wrong with you too.
I gotta put it out there. Everybody, I gotta put it out there. I know. I wanna be even-handed. You know what I'm saying? And if we do something good, I'm gonna call it out. Okay? That's for all y'all people that's wearing the red. I want to let y'all know I'll call it out when something is good for me. Donald Trump said if you a homeowner, he want to make sure your houses keep going up. He want to make you rich. He wants you to feel rich. He want to make sure your prices do not go down while making the interest rates go down at the same time. So Donald Trump is trying to keep me rich, so I appreciate him for that.
Well, I really hope you joking, because what you just said doesn't make any sense. Because if your home if your home and every home in your neighborhood goes up, then you ain't gonna be having nobody buy your motherfucking home. I mean, it's gonna be too high for people to purchase.
That's just what you say.
Okay.
No, it don't work like that. Listen, Tyrone, listen. I'm only saying that because of this. When I first moved to this home, it was about $230,000, right? That was in 2001, 2000, around that time, right? Today, a couple houses just sold in this past month, over $1 million.
Okay.
Somebody bought the motherfucking houses. On the market less than 30 days.
Well,
so as you have that, as what you say, when the prices go up, they'll make it to where people can afford it, Tyrone. You already
the only way that's going to work for you,
mortgage payment.
The only way that's going to work for you is if you sold your. The only way it's going to work for you if you sold your house and don't try to buy a house in your same area. If you sold your house and moved to the south, then yeah, you get over like a fat rat. But if you sell your house and try to buy another house where the $1 million houses are fucking, you're gonna have to pay $1 million. You might come up short.
Tyrone, I understand where you live in your state. You guys look at housing a little bit different.
Hold on, Big Will. I mean, hold on, not Big Will.
Big OC.
OC.
Big OC. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, Big OC. If the housing prices are artificially inflated, which what's going on, that doesn't do anything for you unless you get somebody to buy your shit if you sell it. But if you're not selling and your shit is artificially inflated, the only thing it does for you is make your ass pay more taxes. We all homeowners here. At least, well, I know Tyrone's a homeowner. I'm a homeowner. I think you're a homeowner. So you would have to agree with me, bro. That's the only thing it do if you ain't selling. So what are you selling right now? Because I'm trying to listen to you.
There's ways he can take advantage of it, Howard. He can use the equity in his home if it's worth $1 million now, and if he's a business owner, he can use that equity to go start something or whatever.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah,
but I was speaking.
I
was speaking strictly about if he sell his house and he wants to stay there, he's going to have to pay the same amount of money that he sold his house for to get another house. So you kind of like. Not.
Right, you kind of like you could be underwater or you could be deadpan.
Mm-hmm.
So Tyrone is right. So I'm saying, what are you selling right now, Big OC? Because I don't understand.
Well, as long as the prices stay high, the people that can't buy got to rent, right?
Okay, go ahead.
Ultimately, that also increases my rental options too here, right? People make.
Oh, you talking about your rental homes or your? I'm
just talking about the values going up. How someone who owns homes can take advantage of what's happening here.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
okay.
Listen, I'm not. Listen, Big OC.
So,
there is avenues, and you're absolutely right. But for somebody that's just going to work 9 to 5 and able to afford like the place that you living at, and not set up to rent or Airbnb or use the equity, then they're just they're still paying on their house, and it's just more expensive now. You know what I mean? But I don't. The reason I'm saying that is because I don't know how you move. You might move differently. You get what I'm saying? So.
It's just like I say when I prefaced earlier. For me, when you have people that are out here trying to buy homes, the bank's gonna make it possible for you to get a home. Their job is to lend money. You know what I'm saying? So like they always say, the government makes the prices go up on these things. Maybe they do.
Well, let's play this thing out.
There's always people out there able to buy it.
Let's play this thing out. Let's say you do want to sell your home. What would you do after the bank gave the loan to the buyer? What move would you make after you sold your home?
I go rent me a 1-bedroom for a while.
So you'll go live somewhere cheaper. That's what you're supposed to do there. I mean, you get what I'm saying?
Because listen. What I learned is my uncle told me a long time ago. He's like, don't be too invested emotionally in your properties.
Well, yeah, it'll work out.
Like right now,
mm-hmm.
My uncle would tell me, nephew, you should have been and sold, right? Because where else you gonna get money like that, lump sums, that way? It happens here in this state, is where it can happen. Because I done already 2 times got hundreds of thousands from selling properties.
Yeah.
Based on, you know what I'm saying? So it's a matter of you sell and then you work it out.
Well, if that's what you're gonna do, then that'll work out for you. But I was thinking, like, if you got a family in the house and a dog and whatever, you're gonna have to move that same amount of people to another location. But if you're talking about selling your house and then you going to get something on your own that's cheaper, then I mean it'll work out for you.
Or even if I leave and rent it.
Yeah.
Even if I leave and rent it, the rental market still puts me in a place where.
Well, yeah, the renters will pay your mortgage for you.
For my next spot.
Yeah, Yeah.
And somebody's paying
So
for my next
it may work out for
again.
people that's positioned to do so, you know. So,
Well,
but hold on. The whole
Street.
wait a minute. Hold on. The whole thing is I want to push back on. It's fuck Donald Trump, and I don't give a fuck how much he's making the housing prices go up. I ain't giving that motherfucker no credit for shit, because there's still people out here homeless and can't afford to goddamn buy a house. That's I ain't giving credit for shit.
Hey,
Well, let me
they
say
need
this,
to move to Mississippi.
And the housing prices go up, and if you own a home, fine. And if you decide to cash out, fine. But remember this: if you cash out, you're gonna need somewhere to stay. Are you gonna buy another one? Because if you buy another one, then you're also paying for an overpriced home.
Yeah, but
So
see,
you
that's what
get
he said.
fucked too.
He said that he would rent something a lot cheaper. So, and then
Oh,
rent.
so he said he would cash out and go stay in a senior's goddamn building, which ain't nothing wrong with that.
Well, no, he know his area. He probably know where there's somewhere cheap to stay at and all that.
What
kind
it
of stuff.
is what it is you know, Howard, Riverside. See, this is where I grew up, right? So I'm stuck right here. This is where I bought a long time ago. But where am I willing to live based on the type of work I do, right? I don't really have to commute as much like somebody, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, where am I willing to live cheap and expand my dollars? I could go way out to Riverside from Orange County. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, you ain't
That
from
way-
Riverside. You from Mississippi. You from Mississippi, nigga. I'm saying you from Riverside.
But what I'm saying is, if I sell this place, I could go out to Riverside where there's still cribs out there, 300, 350, 400. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still in Cali.
I know,
So
but
think-
you're an hour away. You an hour away from business. And when you get down, and that 350, 400,000 is overpriced too. And what you're not saying is, Big OC, is your ass coming from Orange County is taking a step down.
That don't matter though. That
Yeah.
don't matter. That don't matter.
I'm over that. I'm over
you over that?
the step down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm over
Okay.
that. I'm over the Orange County law.
Well,
you know,
if that's
I'm
the
over that.
market, if that's the market right now, or you can sell your shit, which would be overpriced, and we saying that, and you're gonna buy some overpriced shit an hour out of the city, then if you cool with that, that's our rent.
No, that ain't what he's saying,
Howard.
Howard. He's not going to go out there and buy. That ain't what he's saying. He's saying that he's going to find something a lot cheaper that he can afford, and at the same time be able to live off of the money. Not live, but maybe even save or do something with the money that he makes.
No, you're not understanding me, Tyrone.
Huh?
I'm saying that this shit he's buying out there with the windfall he got is still overpriced too. It's the
Well,
same shit.
the whole market is overpriced, but it'll be
That's
less.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but you know what though? You know what, guys? Look, this is why Trump changed his tune on Mandami. You know that, right? Because Mandami's one of his campaign promises was to lower property taxes. And guess who owns a whole bunch of property here in New York? So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, politics has a way of making, how they say, strange bedfellows. So if this guy comes into New York and lowers property taxes, that's good for me and all the other little guys, but it's also good for the big guys too.
Oh, shoot. Uh-oh. Well, hold on, Tyrone. Wait a minute. This is Trump show tonight.
Do what now?
This is Trump show tonight. This is Trump show. Howard getting his property taxes lowered. Getting my
Fuck
property
Donald Trump.
raised. It's on.
Listen,
Waiting on my Trump check.
I don't know
Don't
about
let him get the
that.
Trump check out.
No, it ain't no
I don't
damn
know
Trump
what the
show.
hell you talking. But I do know this: the only way you could double your shit is probably on the West Coast. But then, hey, you cash out, you're gonna have to go inland, like what he was talking about, Riverside or whatever. That's a possible thing. I mean, you know, catch the market when it's good. That's definitely possible. You know, there's a lot of people in America like me who say, damn, if I sold my house right now This is why I say shit is fucked up. If I sold my house right now, today, and tried to sell it to myself, I couldn't afford it. Now that's crazy because I'm living in this motherfucker right now. That's where
Welcome
we
to
at
that
in
club,
America.
bro.
Talk about that. That's some wild.
But see how
shit.
you talking about bringing the whole house, the dog, and everybody with you, and you're gonna have to try to find somewhere for everybody to stay that's just as good as where you living at now. So yeah, you're gonna be one of those people that sell your house and then, like in this overpriced market, you're gonna go find something that's the same price or higher to try to live in.
I think you missed what I said.
Okay.
I said, Tyrone, I live in a house right now. If I try to sell this house to myself,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't afford it. And I live in this motherfucker and been buying it for damn near 20 years.
But yeah, you're right. I get what you're saying now.
But that's,
Yeah,
that's most
that's some
most
fuck
cities
shit.
though, Howie. Yeah, that's gentrification for you because them folks that initially moved out to the suburbs seeking that white flight and that better life realize that no, it ain't the panacea, it ain't the paradise they thought it was, and so those taxes and all that shit like that is catching up with them. So now they moving back, and so anybody that's in the city, except for maybe like Gary, Indiana, or Camden, New Jersey, those cities that haven't decided to do some kind of urban renewal is going to be faced with that problem. I'm in the same boat as you, bro. If I was to try and buy a house like this, we're starting like $500,000, easy, right off the rip, $500,000. And it's like, who could afford that? Well, apparently, if you pack a house with enough Mexicans, you probably can. Or if you pack a house with enough East Indians, you can afford it. But who want to live like that?
Well, no, there's a genre of folks out there that can afford it, and I don't know if I want to call it a secret economic flow, but white people are getting paid.
Asian.
White people are getting paid, and foreigners are coming into this country with that kind of money. That's why the market have those prices, because they know there's somebody out there that's going to buy it. It's just not brown people or black people. They're trying to get people to move the fuck out, so those people can go ahead and pay over the price and actually set up the damn gentrification. White people pay that type of money, man.
But see, if those minorities got smart and said, "Fuck it, let's sell our crib in Santa Ana that we bought in 1976 for goddamn me $27,000, and now we can get $800,000 for it now." Them people should have been gone. If they still, if they're still there, they some damn fools.
Like I know. You know how many friends of mine down in Mississippi sold out like that and sold huge tracts of acres of land that they should have held on to?
Yeah, but it's different, though.
Gone is felt.
See, the difference is, Joe, when you're talking about down there, it's always somebody giving up acres. You know what I'm saying? Sold acres and they should have held on to it. Out here, if you can get $800,000 for a house in Santa Ana that you had already in your family 30, 40, 50 years, you need to bust that move.
But hold
on. Bust that move and do what? Say they do sell OC. What do the people do if they sell their house? What's the next move for them?
What I was fully saying is those people need to, at this point, is where they can get smart and combine their dollars.
Oh, okay. Well, that ain't gonna happen. It's hard to get.
But that's how they're living down there now.
Yeah, I get. It's a good idea, but it's hard to get a group of people to do the same shit. Especially with their money. It is a good idea.
What you're also missing, OC, is that people, when they bought that $27,000 home or that $100,000 home, this $800,000, how many goddamn loans they took out with that equity and shit that they're now still paying for too. You got to factor that into the equation too, Big OC.
Yeah, but most of the time you ain't gonna take out too many loans that you can't afford, right?
All right.
You get to a point where
I would.
You get to a point
but I'm not. I don't think I'm the average American citizen because most of American citizens are in fucking debt.
All right.
Most.
Let me check this unknown caller, and at least I got your line open. Who's this unknown caller?
Miss Lady, hello.
What's
I've
up, Miss
been
Lady?
listening about the real estate market, but then that was a good question you asked, Tyrone. Okay, to OC, you sell it for $800K. Then what is the next step? Because you're going to have to pay a lot of capital gains taxes unless you buy another piece of property. So you're going to need to buy another piece of property. What if you're working in the area? You don't have a long commute. Your kids are going to particular schools and they're doing well. What do you do? Do you take that money and do you move? You're going to have to move out of the area because if your house is selling for $800K, so are the other houses selling for $800K. So you're going to end up, just if you're going to stay in the area, you're not moving ahead really. So what do? Do you go rent an apartment and pay capital gains taxes? You leave out of the area, leave your good paying job with benefits? What's the next step?
Big OC.
Well, a big OC party. That's what I was saying. It's not. Oh, go ahead, big OC.
No, go ahead.
Oh.
Well, that's what I was saying. Well, it's not really a move up. At best, that could be a lateral move, especially if you in Southern
No, but y'all didn't hear what his
California.
answer was. His answer was if the people do it as a group and then they come together with that money that they sold, how they can do something bigger.
I ain't heard about no group shit. I didn't hear no group.
What do you mean as a group? I don't understand what you mean.
Well, I understand what he was saying. Like if you got a neighborhood that's got like 15 families in it, been there for 30 years, and then they got these overpriced homes now, and these 15 families decide that, hey, we're going to all sell our house, and then we're going to make this move or buy some condos and all that kind of shit, or whatever the dream might be, then they would have the power to do stuff like that.
But why would you sell your house you're living in to go live in a condo?
No, you ain't listening to me.
Well,
one of the reasons the whole point is
I mean, if you're elderly and you don't want a big house anymore, say the house is big.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of houses, they're not really that big, but they're selling for a lot of money. So I don't understand.
Well,
I mean, most people don't have 15 different houses.
Well, maybe Big OC should explain it further. But let me introduce Elisa and acknowledge her because I opened up her mic. You there, Elisa?
Oh yeah, I'm good. You guys can continue, but let me just add this, throw this monkey wrench over in there. I know in the area that I live in, condominiums are going anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000 to $600,000, $500,000 to $600-something thousand. That's just what the average condo that you would want costs. So I just throw that monkey wrench over in there. You rent an apartment.
And
Elisa, remember, you're going to have HOA dues in those condos that's going to go up every year. That's not taxed.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Well, no,
my mom,
HOAs are $800 a month. Seriously.
Oh, I understand that. My mother pays like $600 a month.
That's crazy.
So, they ain't no joke.
Hey, Tyrone.
No, I was trying to explain Big OC's plan because I understood him, but maybe Big OC, you should probably explain it because I'm not explaining it good enough.
No, people that are going to have equity like this generally aren't going to have young kids. They're generally going to have been in that property a long time.
That's true.
And I always, and I picked an area like Santa Ana because this is an area that most of the people are similar. they're predominantly Mexican in a lot of these areas.
Oh, you
And a lot
talking
of them
about doing
are
it as older and you got all the kids out the house and you and your wife
no,
like
what I'm
60
saying, Howard,
That's what you're saying?
Anybody who has $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 equity in their house been in that motherfucker a long time.
Okay, I agree with you. On that point, I agree with you. If you like 60-something, y'all about to retire or retired, you're like, yo, let's take this equity, sell this motherfucker, take this money,
we're
then we bounce down to
like
Santa Ana and get a all-inclusive goddamn condo in a spot where, okay, yeah, I got you on that.
Because the smart thing for me, what I should be thinking right now is, I need to take this lump sum and just wait it out for the 55 plus.
Yeah, I got you.
They say you don't want to live to no 55 plus. They say you talking about getting depressed. All you looking around and seeing is a bunch of old folks and people start dying.
You got to be saying them,
you don't, and it's harder to sell. You don't want to be in no 55 plus.
Miss Lady, I know what he's saying. I know what he's saying, Miss Lady, and believe me, out here they got some nice condos, 55 plus or whatever that you can live. I don't know how it is where you at, Miss Lady, but you can. Hell, they plush, luxury plush.
Yeah,
now,
I know. I've been there. I understand, but this is the thing.
So I understand what he's saying.
On them communities, there's a high rate of depression. There's a high rate of people
here. I ain't married. I ain't worried about how many of them niggas depressed.
Miss Lady, but
well, I just don't want to blow it off because that's real.
I mean, Miss Lady, you probably 100% right with those stats and stuff, but ain't life what you make it? I mean, does that mean that you're going to be depressed?
Well, when you're elderly and now you're starting to have health problems and you meet friends and they start dying off in your 55 plus, you miss the sound of
55 ain't
youth.
Elderly, Miss Lady. I'm 53, goddamn, and I ain't elderly.
Well, black men start dying in their 60s, okay? And so now,
hold on now, because I'm in my 60s.
I'm not just talking just to be talking. I'm being for real. And I'm telling you, you're going to miss the sound of youth. They're going to have restrictions on how long you can have guests stay overnight. They're not going to want to have no kids
well, then
there.
That's when you go to. When you go back to you was 17. You sneaking the nigga in the house.
Well, you can go to 55 plus. I'm not doing it. You can go ahead and be with all the aged folks going to play bingo. And all of that, doing your line dancing, I'm not doing that, okay?
Hey, some of them ladies in them power chairs be looking kind of sexy now.
That's crazy. Down here, there's a whole city down here. There's a whole city called Laguna Woods. I don't know if you ever heard of it, Howard. It's right next to Laguna Hills. It's like an old person city, right?
Yeah.
It's an entire city where you can buy condos. Their condos are a lot cheaper to buy them, and you own them. And it's some areas are gated. They have some gated areas around there, and then some areas are not gated. But the whole city is still 55 plus.
Right.
They have their bus systems that go around that city. All these things accommodate them in that city. They have people drive around in golf carts, and you could drive right through it and not notice it if you don't know. You'll drive right through their city.
Well, we know Miss Lady ain't gonna go to one. You know, they ain't even on her bucket list. She ain't finna do that.
Miss Lady be sticking Big J in left and right.
I like young people, and I like to hear the sound of children, and I like to talk to young people, and I don't want to turn around and see everybody with gray hair and on walkers. Okay, I'm sorry. No,
you don't see that though. Because my dad lives in the community like that in Vegas.
They got a golf course.
Looks like a little town.
Big swimming pool. Shit. Yeah, they got a city. They got a weed store.
I know. That's great. That's great. That's all great. It's not for me, but for those
my parents were gonna buy.
They knocking on your damn door. You ain't doing shit at home.
Big OC, my parents are going to buy a home in one of those places that you're talking about, but it's way out by Indio and shit like that. You probably the only one that know where that is, Indio.
I've heard of Indio.
Out there. And it was a whole retirement community. They got a movie theater, everything. But the thing is, they got a rule that your people can only visit you for a certain amount of time. I guess it depending on the community.
Right. Well, it's up to you to do shopping and find out if you agree with those rules before you go in it. You know, Big OC might Big OC might be wanting.
And you know what, Tyrone? My parents didn't buy in that neighborhood because they didn't agree with all the rules of the family rules.
They might be. What I'm saying is that they might be a place.
But some people may agree with that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. There might be a place that you agree with their rules.
And another thing, it's hard to resell those places. And then what if your spouse dies? Now you out there by yourself. Okay. Listen, I heard they be fighting over them old men, those old senior women. As soon as somebody becomes a widower, it's a mess.
Well, Big OC, I'm gonna tell you, I agree with you.
They got a bunch of STDs running around in them aged communities.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Big OC, on your future thinking there. You know, I don't mind. I might love seeing a whole bunch of hover rounds and wheelchairs and golf carts. You know, it ain't gonna bother nobody, man. You have peace of mind.
What has to do with you, Tyrone? If Howard is rolling around in a walker, and what the fuck that got to do with you, Tyrone? You living my life, I'm trying to live mine. That don't have nothing to do with you, right? That's
yeah. That's it. That's the way I think, you know. But Miss Lady seemed to be a more sociable person, and she don't want to.
She's gonna stay young forever.
Yeah, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that either. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I want to be somewhere where I know the ambulance gonna get there quick when I fall.
You say the ambulance gonna be that motherfucker in 2 minutes.
You be seeing them sirens 3 times a week rolling in and out their complex.
You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker quick, I know my name. You know what I'm saying? I don't know no police, but I know all the EMTs. I know all the ambulance drivers around. I don't know all them.
See, Aaron, your ass better not do like you did Philip last week, nigga, if I'm on the ground. You know, I saw you, Aaron. You need to treat me a little better.
You're going to see putting rims on the golf cart, right?
Now, you know what? There are some places that are quite expensive, and they're in the cities, and they're like, you know, like high-rise buildings, and you go in there when you're younger, it's expensive, and you have a monthly fee, but you can stay there until you pass away. And like one of the floors, they may have like a convalescent type hospital. So say you have to go to the hospital, you have an operation, you need to have some care done. You don't want to go to one of them other convalescent places. They have a nice convalescent, because I've been to one,
Isn't a convalescent place step
within the building. Within the building, yes. They have condos, apartments in the building. They got the big dining room with the piano and all that kind of stuff, the meals, they got the beauty shop. All of that stuff is there. But if you go to the hospital and you need some convalescence, you need a nursing care, blah, 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 for a while, you can go to that convalescent floor and get taken care of very well. It doesn't smell. It's well staffed. You get care. And then when you recover, you're able to go back to your unit.
You go.
And see, I knew people that actually sold their homes. They were like, say, in their late 50s,
Our
early
wife
60s.
and I have been talking about it.
They got in before they
selling
were
our home
sick.
and doing that.
And see, and they go and come as they want. Okay, they go and come as they want, but they're in the city. They're right there in the city. So when they step out of their door and they go a few blocks, there's the youth. There's the people. There's
let me say this, Miss Lady. Let me say this, Miss Lady. That's a hard decision to make. My parents were going to make, and they stopped making that decision when they found out the rules because of family visits and things. I'm 50 something, but actually my mother and father's 50th anniversary is in fucking 2 days. That's a fact.
Wow.
February 14th. And they were going to do that, and they decided not to do it because of the family visitation rules, or because they were still in their parental minds, still were like, no, we ain't going to do this because we still may have to take care of one of these 3 niggas that we raised who may have some issues or their kids, and we ain't going to do it. They made that decision.
Are they happy with that decision? Do they feel satisfied with it? Do they wish they had done it differently?
I think they cool with it. I think they cool with it. Like, yo, they didn't want to do it. Like, it wasn't because of they were going to be around a lot of other old people or this and that. It was because of family shit. Like, yo, you telling me my family can only stay with us a certain? What if somebody has a problem? What if Howard ass get divorced and he need to come live with us for 6 months? That was against the rules.
Right.
And they made
or
that
you
decision.
Know, or
like,
you
no,
get sick and you might need to move home for a month or 2 or 3.
Well, those places have a purpose.
Seriously, that happens.
Those places have a purpose, and I mean, like what Howard talking about, you might have a situation where people just don't get along with their kids. You know how people just, go off to themselves. They don't mess with their parents when they get older and all that kind of stuff. So, those places have a purpose.
I'm gonna tell you, my father, he lived to be a very old age, but he had issues, health problems. His last, I'd say 7 years of his life, but he was able to stay in his house, and he had children that would go over, spend the night, stay with him, help him. He had caretakers, part-time caretakers, because at the end he couldn't cook. He needed help, like getting cleaned up and stuff, and that kind of stuff. But he always kept his mind right and that kind of thing. But he needed care. He was able to stay in his house where he wanted to stay and have people come. We spent the night. We took care of them, cooked for them, all that kind of stuff. And it was nice.
When you're making decisions for your health, that's different than just making a decision saying, hey, we're going to retire here and sell the family home.
You're going to have some health problems, more than likely, before you take
it. God created me.
Oh, shit.
Can I add something? I was listening to what you guys were saying, like Howard, what you were saying about your parents, and like as far as with the senior places for people to live. Good friend of my mom, I remember years ago, she always said, I want a 2-seater sports car. And my mom used to tell her, well, what about her daughter? And she had 3 grandkids. And if you want to take them all somewhere, she said, I'm not buying a car, making room for them. I'm buying what I want for me.
That's what I'm talking
about. And let me finish. I feel that same way. I would never get a place trying to think about making room for somebody else. Everybody's different. So like Tyrone says, those places like that, they serve its purpose. If they say if I can invite, like if you could, like my mother's friend, she moved into one of the beautiful places. Her daughter, she's since passed, and her daughter has it because she bought the place. And her daughter, who's my friend, she's not old enough to move there. So she's like, did some things that she's going to sell it. And her mother, like some of the grandkids, they could come and they could spend, like in the summertime, I think it was something like a month. And then that's it. And she was fine. She was fine with that. She's like, I like this place, the living, the whole atmosphere they had. It was it's a beautiful place. She said, I'm buying this for me. I'm not buying it to make room for other people and to concern myself with. But it takes a lot. So like Tyrone said, those places serve its purpose. Because if I were going to do that, when I get to the point where I said that I'm going to do that, I'm not doing anything trying to possibly make room for what somebody else's downfall.
But Elisa, it's about what the people's mindset is. Like for me, I was like, Mom, like what the fuck? Like, dude, I mean, I'm not going. Well, I don't think I'll be there. Like need to be there for 6 months. But my mother is a mother,
I
and
get that.
her whole thinking is like, hey, what if?
Yeah, what
I
if?
might need to take care of my babies. She gonna
And I
die with I need to take
understand
care
that.
of my damn babies.
I
And
understand that. I get it.
yeah,
But I chose
understand
not
it
to
too.
have. I
Now,
don't want
didn't
children
necessarily agree
because
with it.
I chose not to want them. It's everything.
Yeah.
I know some people say my dad used to tell me that you kind of selfish. I said, no, I'm not. I never wanted children. I still don't. And whatever I do, it's about me. Yeah, I look out for people, my nieces,
Well,
my
Lisa,
family.
you're not by
but
yourself. A lot of people are like that nowadays.
it's about me. But I still look out
Right.
for people and make sure that I'm able to do different things, like so I
Well,
can
there's
help people in
there's
the
nothing
family.
wrong with that.
I look out for my mom and different people, but I buy nothing, do nothing with trying to work that I might have to worry about. That's why I didn't have children, because I didn't want to have to. Because I
There's
knew I
nothing wrong
would
with
be the
that, Sister
type.
Elisa.
I knew I would be the type that my mind is always on that something could happen to them and they might have to. I was like, I don't have to worry about that. That is just not. That's why I didn't. That's why I'm still not going to do it. That's why I'm not going to get none and adopt any.
People with children and grandchildren, they think about legacy, and they do want to leave their
think about that
children.
stuff.
They
They
do want to
always
leave their
think about
children
it.
property
Should have
if
bought
they're
that
able
house
to.
in that
But you
senior
can't leave them no
neighborhood or
senior
whatever.
plus property, and it's not going. They're gonna have to sell it, and it's
They
gonna
have
be
to
harder
sell
to
it.
sell. Yeah, it's gonna be
They
harder
have
to
to sell
sell.
it.
It's much harder
It's gonna be
to
hard
sell.
to sell because you got to sell it to another goddamn senior. But
Somebody that's
I-
that's at the age for it. Yeah.
exactly. But I thought my parents should have made that move. But I understood why. And not saying I didn't really agree, but I understood why. And I didn't.
I understand it.
Yeah,
I understand it
understood
too.
why.
A lady I worked with years ago told me one of her friends, and she was a single black woman. She went out there and saw that beautiful community. It was like maybe 2 hours away from where her daughter lives, her family, and she loved it. It had all the amenities. It was beautiful. It was new. And she sold her house and moved out there, and she ended up regretting it as a single black woman because there was not a lot of black people there, and they had a lot of white couples, and she was not included in any of the social activities. She felt isolated, and her daughter was working and had her own kids, and she thought she'd be coming to visit her twice a month. That didn't
And
happen.
she didn't come.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she got real depressed and really regretted selling her house and moving out there to that beautiful community because she wasn't white. She didn't have her white husband, where they could go around with the other white couples and do all the social stuff. And she didn't have any family nearby.
And that's that. She should have tried to. She should have tried to get her a white husband. She wouldn't
get a white boy.
She wasn't trying to get her white husband, but she was an older woman. I think she was like in her late 50s.
Go ahead,
and
Tyrone. I'm going on mute.
Nah.
Go get you a white husband. He got some good retirement coming. He got a lot of insurance and stuff. That'll keep him. As long as he don't cause you no trouble. As long as he don't cause you no trouble.
Yeah, plus his ice is colder. Plus his ice is way colder.
Yeah. And you ain't got to worry about that.
And we have much in common with those couples out there. They weren't going to include her. Even if she had a white husband, they certainly weren't going to do it then. And so it was like, you have to think about these things if you're single. And also, even if you're married, because, it's just a lot to think about. I'm not saying it works out great for some people, but others,
some people, it depends on the person. Those places they are good for some, and some they're not a good fit. But I am like my mom's girlfriend. I'm not buying anything Like she said, I ain't buying no car with no back seat or a SUV to make room for my daughter's kids. What I look like? So she drove a Miata, and then she moved to her had a little Porsche and this. She got a no car for a back seat for them. They mama and stuff got a car. You know, they can put them on car seat and all that stuff over in there. I'm not doing that, and I loved it. I just love it. You don't do anything you don't want to do.
Yeah,
and make your room, make space for other people.
Yeah, people are different. People are different.
Everybody's different.
You got a lot of people like Howard is family oriented, but you got a lot of people like Elisa saying when they get up a certain age, they done did their little thing, they done contributed, they done raised their children, and it's about them, and ain't nothing wrong with that, you know. Long as you
it's
got
about me now.
It's
about me now.
And a lot of people, you know, they'll get an SUV for their grandkids. Like I have a cousin, she got a little twin set of their cute little boys. They're about 4 now. And she definitely had to have, because she babysits a lot and she loves them. And so she has an SUV, like a Honda. But, you know, if she wanted to go out and buy a Miata, she could, but she really doesn't want to do that. And so, you know, everybody has different priorities.
It's different priorities. And there's things you can set up, whatever
and then
your priorities.
Back to what Big OC was saying is if you do sell your home and then you do make that money, after you sell your home, you will be set up nice living in a place like that because you won't really have to worry about finances too much.
Well, you're going to pay a lot in capital gains, a lot of money. You're going to pay a lot in California.
The only thing I don't like, Tyrone, is the rules and I'm not in the HOA right now. If these motherfuckers in this
you have to shop.
to get an
You
HOA,
have to shop for different places that got different rules. How everybody ain't got the same rules. And then the thing that worries me,
the first thing I don't like about an HOA is it costs money.
I have to pay an HOA. But the thing that worries me about those 51,
I have an HOA too.
The thing that worry about me about with those 51 plus and places like that is that one day there may be a change of ownership, right? So it may be have a higher standard now, and then I don't know, 10, 15 years down the road they change ownership. What is that place is going to look like once the new ownership take over? You know, will it go down or? But you can't predict stuff like that, you know. Hopefully it stays.
That's true.
The thing you need to do is talk to your boy ABC, get his ass out that 1 bedroom, try to get him to do something for himself.
Because he was sleeping on his mother-in-law's couch, man. He was still on his mother-in-law's couch.
Home and
y'all terrible.
Mother-in-law couch.
Well, like I said, I am not giving Donald Trump shit, no credit for home prices going up, and because there's people out there that still can't afford housing and rent too damn high. And I was just looking at the 51 pluses down here in Myrtle Beach. Hell, they cost just as much it's just expensive as renting a goddamn house. So I don't know. That shit's still high. All that shit high. Everything.
You know what though, Tyrone? I'll give Trump, you know, credit for one thing and one thing only. He has a really nice nursing home here and rehab center. And because his mother, he and I were born in the same hospital, and his mother died in the hospital. He sits on the board of it, the hospital. And they have a beautiful, beautiful nursing home and rehab center there. That's got his name on it. So I'll give him that credit, but it's mostly because of his father more than him. But it's still, they were big benefactors to this particular hospital because his mom was there, and so you know, it helps the community because you can if you get a sports injury or something like that, they're one of the best places in the area to go to because it rehab center.
Well, that's nice, but fuck Donald Trump. I can't stand that.
Yeah, right. I'm with you on that.
He ain't getting no credit for shit from Tyrone.
I ain't giving him credit for anything.
Not a damn thing. Nothing. He could go cure cancer tomorrow. Fuck him. Fuck him.
Did you read that he's suing the IRS for releasing his tax?
Yeah, that's bullshit, and that's illegal. That is illegal because the president ain't supposed to receive no type of damn income except for that salary that we pay his ass.
It's a lawsuit. It's a lawsuit. He's suing the IRS, and his friend Scott Bassett, is going to talking about giving him $10 billion.
But I think that could be
Yeah,
considered income too.
He's suing for $10 billion. He's suing the American people. This is crazy. And Sarge told me yesterday he was gonna call in, get your ass straight, Lyron. That's what he said. And I don't know where he at, but I do want to ask the ladies on the phone. If your daughter,
Yeah, see right here, I just
man.
went on the IRS. It said lawsuit money is generally considered taxable income by the IRS. So I mean, he ain't supposed to be doing that shit.
He still ain't paying the lawsuit money though. He should be paying out that lawsuit money to offset it.
Well, I just hope the IRS don't. I hope the IRS don't fold. I hope the IRS don't fold and they beat him in court with that bullshit. But that's how Donald
They're
Trump.
not gonna beat him.
Huh?
They're not gonna fold or beat him. He running everything, Tyrone. He's gonna fold it.
Oh, I guess if he's in charge of the IRS, then I guess
nigga trying to beat the American people out of $10 billion. Y'all need to pay close
That's all that
attention.
is. And he talking about it's going to charity, which he probably is. Well, he probably will give part to charity to offset some of his costs and things like that.
But I will give him credit. I will give him credit with the IRS suit and with this Epstein bullshit. He got so much shit coming at the American people. We don't know which way to damn turn. We doing turkey neck, looking around. What's next? And they over there eating goddamn babies and shit, and we ain't even talking about that hard. I'm like, what the hell? And then Elisa, you mentioned Zorro Ranch. You mentioned Zorro Ranch last week, and I heard that stuff when we got off the phone. I was scratching my head like, what the hell is next? Did y'all hear about that ranch?
I missed what?
Zorro Ranch, that ranch in New Mexico.
Oh yeah. I heard about that. What was going on out there?
I was like, what the
Sarge,
fuck?
where you at, Sarge?
I can't believe
Sarge.
Tyrone.
What's that?
Yeah. Did you hear about what the real story behind that bridge in Canada? And he said he was gonna, there was a bridge that they put. I think it's a.
No, there is a bridge, not was.
Yeah,
there is a bridge.
Yeah, there is a bridge. Yeah, but there's all right. So the new bridge goes. I think it's in Milwaukee, is it? Whatever state
was
is
it? Milwaukee? It's one of those states up there.
Yeah, go ahead with the story though, because I heard something about them upgrading it and him cutting the funding or something. But go ahead with it.
Well, the reason is because there is another bridge that had been there previously that's privately owned, and so this billionaire dude owns the existing bridge and have been trying to block any new bridges being built because he has a toll booth on that bridge and has been collecting tolls for years. And so when the new bridge that they talk about opened, he called Donald Trump and said, hey, they messing with my money. And then Trump initiated all of this mess about this bridge. So it has nothing to do with politics or anything. It's his boy, his billionaire buddy that got mad because now you have a public bridge that's taken away from his toll.
Crony capitalism. At its finest.
Yeah,
and how do you put a tariff on Canada when we got a free trade agreement? You got Tyrone, did you hear me? Free trade, North American free trade agreement, and you want to put tariffs on Canada? It's a free trade agreement. This nigga doing so much wild shit. It's How do you do that? You got a free trade agreement. And you say, no, I'm going to put tariffs on you motherfuckers. Boy, this nigga is so dumb. I don't know. This shit it's remarkable.
Well, all of that is to keep the people, just like we're doing now, talking about each and every one of these damn little issues, while they keep their eyes off of them eating damn babies. Eating babies and having sex with children. They don't want nobody talking about that, And when Pam Bondi testified the other day, I mean, America should have looked with them victims sitting behind Pam Bondi.
Was a disaster.
With them victims sitting behind Pam Bondi, and that lady asked them victims, did they talk to the fucking DOJ yet? And they said no. And then she asked Pam Bondi to acknowledge them women. That woman sit up there and started talking about the Dow Jones and the stock market. I was like, what the fuck? She won't even turn around and acknowledge those fucking victims and shit. I was like, nah, we fucked up. There's something going on
That
here.
was a disaster. Oh Lord, that was a disaster. You know,
That was big. Even Sarge had to say she was messed up, but he couldn't even deny the. He couldn't even deny.
But
the
it's
craziness
something
of
else
that.
going on, and I'm gonna put my conspiracy hat on because I've been watching some of these Epstein videos, and Jeffrey Epstein was talking to this neurological science out in California, some goddamn where. Him, Steve Bannon, and a whole fucking team of them, and they was studying how to manipulate large masses of people, and they implemented that shit through social media and all that kind of shit, and that's why partly. I ain't trying to have no sympathy for him, but that's why Sarge and ABC think like that, because these dudes strategically said certain things for them people to key on and turn them into a goddamn cult, and that's why it's so hard to get through to these people, because they purposely
niggas brainwash.
they purposely brainwash that whole crowd so they can see shit like babies getting eaten and not say shit. They can see shit by like Donald Trump overthrowing the goddamn government and not say a goddamn thing, or having an insurrection. They can hear Donald Trump say some of the most heinous shit and they still support him. But that's a psychological thing that is happening to those people. And I didn't get the details of it. You know, I just watched these damn shorts. But
that's why I stopped talking about ABC, because it's a lost cause. Like, that nigga's brainwashed. That's not even worth my fucking time. He's a fucking idiot. No, you got it wrong, Howard. You got it wrong, Howard.
What do you mean I got it wrong?
Yeah, ABC is a Manchurian candidate, and if you put a sequence of certain code words together, then he'll turn into the real white guy that he is. So if you say COVID, Fauci, you know, Crockett, you know, a couple other code words, then he will reveal his true nature. So, you know, that's it. He's been programmed, you know, to react to a certain sequence of words.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jeffrey Epstein had his hands in a lot of shit with these higher education. I mean, they was like these fucking higher college doctors going out to his island to take care of people. And I mean, this man, it's crazy what this man was involved in and how he manipulated countries and manipulated people. It's just nuts, and I'm surprised that these people are involved, you know. But I guess white people are gonna be white people. They're just disgusting people. They want to eat children. They had code word like beef jerky, and I'm assuming that they turned the children into jerky, and they was serving it up to each other, mailing them to each other, and eating them. And I'm like, what the fuck is this going on? That sounds crazy, don't it? It sounds crazy when I say it out loud.
That sounds crazy. Now, Tyrone, I ain't gonna jump off that boat with you, but I'm just like, yeah.
Listen, I'm telling you how he's digging to this shit. I'm telling you.
I ain't going into niggas turning people into beef jerky.
Yeah, they were doing all kind of real demonic, crazy stuff. They were talking about how babies' intestines were so taste good and soft, like something like cream cheese. I mean, I'm telling you, eating baby parts.
I need evidence on that. I'm not going that
It's
far.
in the files, Howard. I'm telling you, it's in the goddamn files.
Huh?
It's in the files. It's in the files.
If the files don't mean that it's true. That just
Okay,
means
so whenever that's true, but whenever you got people emailing Jeffrey Epstein talking about is the jerky ready, and it is out of context, and Jeffrey listen to what I'm saying, and it's out of context with the rest of the goddamn sentence, and then Jeffrey email I got 2 bags of jerky waiting on you. And I mean, you got to put 2 and 2 together.
So y'all need to go on here and tell the people then that these motherfuckers were eating people. Is that what y'all saying?
They were, and that's what is.
Sarge from ABC a couple of years ago with this.
No, that's what I wanted to talk about. That's what I wanted to talk about with ABC, because ABC saying that he was right and all that kind of stuff, and that's why I named the show "Conspiracy Theory" versus "Conspiracy Facts," because what they was doing is using conspiracy theories, and what I'm going off of is the facts in those emails that people was actually emailing back, and they didn't have those facts. They were saying that Democrats was doing this shit and all this kind of shit. They were just trying to demonize Hillary Clinton with these QAnon conspiracies. All that shit was conspiracy theories. Nothing was proven. Hillary Clinton ain't in jail. The Pizzagate turned out to be false. All that shit was fucking conspiracy theories. So I didn't buy into that shit because it sounded crazy. But whenever you present to me that this man got an island and he's getting rid of little girls and he's got a ranch in New Mexico that was set up like a goddamn crematorium and a torture goddamn center, and these people emailing back and forth talking about jerky and other code words for humans, this shit is in the file. So these are facts that I'm spreading. It's not the same thing that they was talking about, because there's a difference. There's a difference between facts and these conspiracy theories that they was spreading with QAnon and all that kind of bullshit. But it sounds the goddamn same whenever you talk about the subject of humans eating humans, because QAnon was saying that shit. But now you got proof if you go dig in those files and see that Jeffrey Epstein was actually talking to other people about eating children. I can't put it no other way. That's what the hell they were talking about. Cannibalism. Them some nasty fuckers. Oh, here goes somebody. Oh, who is this?
What's good, family?
Who was it that's
Peace.
part of that regime that said that Epstein was the most depraved, creepiest person he had ever met? Who was it that said that? And the person that said it is no angel. I can't think of it right now.
I don't know. I mean, that's the way he is. He is the most depraved person, Miss Lady. I can't. And not only that, is that Donald Trump administration, the Republicans and Democrats that went to that island and trying to hide this information from coming out, all of those people are just as bad and depraved as Jeffrey Epstein, Pam Bondi. All of them people are just as depraved, and they're in charge now. Because of racism, they put these depraved motherfuckers in charge of this damn country, and you can see what they're doing when it comes to these files being released. And Donald Trump named, somebody said the other day that in the Epstein files, it was like 300,000 times. But somebody said the other day that Trump's involvement with Epstein was mentioned over 1 million times. So Donald Trump is in it deep. I guarantee you that motherfucker had some damn jerky. That's probably why his hands are fucking goddamn fading away, because he ain't able to eat them children no goddamn more. Let me stop. But what's up, mama's boy?
Oh, what's good, family? What's good, everybody? I just wanted to maybe laugh a little at Lutnick on his performance at his hearing. You know, when he was explaining on how he had his whole entire family on Epstein Island, when he was the first person out there talking about he met him once and his wife told him he's not to ever see him again. Yeah, they was all together when that happened. They all went to the island. He had to testify to that. He actually got pretty tripped up. I wonder if y'all saw that. I thought it was pretty funny.
Well, see, Lutnick is a spinner, right? So whenever he sit down and did that podcast, he was spinning everything, and he thought that nobody wasn't going to follow up on him.
Yeah.
And now that he's been caught, in order for him to make it look palatable, he says that his children was with him, which I think that's a goddamn lie. I think that him and his wife is some goddamn freaks, and they was on that island doing what they do on that goddamn island. But to make the story sound good, I took my kids to Jeffrey Epstein Island. Who the fuck gonna say that they took their kids? Yeah, that's bullshit.
Right. Well, hey, Tyrone, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. What if he took his kids for nefarious reasons?
Well, I'm trying to give a man some humanity. I'm just assuming that parents wouldn't want to see anything bad happen to their kids. I'm giving them that little bit of credit, you know.
Tyrone, but when you break it down, you know, kind of how you would, break down some bullshit, you put it in simple words. So a trafficking pedophile is having dinner with a regular family and their children? Or is it maybe a pre-pedophile or post-pedophile trying to go back to being a it's so many parameters there, right? I mean, that's why if you're a normal human being, you ain't hanging around Jeffrey.
Yeah, Lutnick is lying,
right?
And you're not bringing your kids.
No,
I don't have
exactly.
Kids, like,
You didn't even stand up telling the world you took your kids.
They took them round here. The kids that I love in my family, like my nieces and my little cousins and goddaughter and stuff, I don't want them in the same, nowhere in the same building with somebody like that. You took your kids there.
Yeah,
I think he told the truth, Tyrone. I know you think he lied. I think that oath, and he knew he was under oath, and he was already caught with the emails and shit. He just came to fuck clean, like he would any motherfucker had him that. I think he did.
See, no, but
I think he told on himself though. But I think if you look deep into it, you may take maybe understand it may be dark reason why he had to admit he took his children to, and he admitted that there was another couple there with their children. Okay, I'm just saying, Tyrone.
What I'm saying, we can't trust shit that man is saying, right? So I don't believe a word coming out of his mouth. And like I said, I'm trying to give him some humanity. But the fact is that he hung around Jeffrey Epstein just like everybody else did. So he's just as nasty and depraved as everybody goddamn else. So whenever he said, but what I'm trying to say with his kids is that to soften the blow for everybody to hear it, somebody gonna say, "Oh, he must have took his kids. Then there must not been nothing going on," and that's what he wanting people to think. So it could be like you saying that he took his kids as participants. I don't know. He could have, but I was just saying that he was trying to spin something to make it sound like it was a legitimate visit.
I think that's why he's nervous about it now and admitting it and going to stepping out. Yeah.
But you know what? Just because you took your family and they had a nice room,
I mean, the goddamn thing. That don't mean shit to me. Yeah, that don't mean shit.
You could still tiptoe off to a bungalow and do who knows what.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that Allen got child care. I'm pretty sure that Allen got child care. There's somewhere for them kids to hang out at.
Tyrone, these Lutnick, I switched the L and the N around and call him Nutlick. I don't call him Lutnick. I call him Nut. And he was doing the exact same thing Elon Musk was attempting to do. Because that's probably how he found out how to get in touch with Epstein. And he was telling, or maybe not told, maybe Elon was just traveling down the same sort of path that he uniquely got his family to do, right? Elon trying to track this man down to have a dinner with him at the island, right?
And I don't think that was the only place on this planet that's got that going on. I believe that it's still going on.
No.
I believe that it's still going on right now because I seen another video today to where they were showing what do you call them things when you take pictures of babies before they born?
Sonogram.
They were showing that.
Sonogram,
yeah. And the date on the sonogram, they didn't know they put it in the file, was 2024, and it was in the Epstein's file. So why are you after Jeffrey Epstein had killed himself and been accused of all that shit, you got a sonogram that says 2024 on the picture? Say who baby is that, and where the hell is that baby
I
at?
think they were impregnating a lot of girls. For those babies. And I think it was a global thing going on. I know they've been talking about the UK for years and all the creepy stuff. And who knows what's going on, in other countries.
And Israel is in this shit deep. Israel is deep. Yep. Them damn Jews, or I don't know what y'all want to say. Allegedly, Israel is in this shit.
No, we can't say the Jews. We call them like the what do you call them? Not
Zionists?
Israeli. Zionists. Yes, yeah. There you go.
Well, whoever the hell is over there with them little small hats on, they in it deep. I promise you. Jeffrey Epstein was a Jew, and they just in it deep. I don't give a fuck. They want to call everybody anti-Semites for accusing them of what the fuck they're doing. Stephen Miller is a Jew and he's a goddamn Nazi. His wife is a goddamn
His
Jew
wife,
and she's a Nazi.
Nazi.
They always, I mean, you know, but you got good Jews out here, I guess, like Jon Stewart or I don't know, Seinfeld. I guess Bernie Sanders is a good Jew, but you got them other Jews on the other side that is just fucking evil. They just fucking evil.
But that's why I don't like to say the Jews. This is Zionists.
Mm-hmm.
Zionists.
But it's surprising me that the media ain't knee deep in this stuff. I mean, there should be warnings about these rich people. Those rich people names should be plastered all over the goddamn place. The people that has been exposed, they should be boycotting of their goddamn companies. Even Zuckerberg, we should quit fucking Facebook. I don't know. There should be some type of retaliation against these nasty ass children fucking pedophiles that they feel it. You know, but I don't think America is angry enough. I guess Donald Trump.
America, I think.
Go ahead.
A lot of people are angry enough,
using boys too. It wasn't just girls; it was boys too.
Oh yeah. I guess Donald Trump primed us to accept all this kind of negative shit as a country.
I think America, enough of America is angry and upset with all this stuff, but they're not willing to give up their luxuries and their everyday, you know, they're not willing to give any of that up. Because just like at Christmas time, people still went shopping. Mm-hmm. And people, we know that these corporations and these corporations, these people that own all these companies, these billionaires and stuff, the ones that's jacking us, and people still went and spent money and bought stuff from them at Christmas time. So you expect people to leave Facebook and IG and all those things? Now, I didn't buy anything at Christmas, but I haven't left social media because that's a way to communicate. But people still buying their stuff when they know.
People are not going to leave, and that's why I say they ain't angry enough, because they should be angry enough. They should be angry enough to shut this damn country down and stop paying these corporations whatever the fuck, because it's crazy.
At least stop shopping. Stop shopping. Because we all got them. Not everybody, but the average. You got enough junk. You got enough stuff. You got enough shoes and clothes. You got enough of that stuff. Stop shopping. You have to buy your food and your everyday, the things that you need to be able to survive, your toiletries. You just stop buying stuff. No, somebody go straight and buy them pair of shoes. And we just so, I mean, are you angry enough? Does things have to break down for you to be out on the street to get it? I don't know.
See, that's where the corporations are smart at, because the corporations made this society dependent on their product. That's why people are continuing to do it. But we need to find a way to wean ourselves off of that dependency.
The stuff. You don't need the stuff. You don't need all that stuff. And then nobody on this phone needs another pair of shoes. Nobody on this phone needs another pair of jeans, needs another pair of nothing. But we're still buying the show.
Yeah, I show, and then the really extreme conspiracies I've seen is that Jeffrey Epstein is still alive. I didn't really pay that.
I saw that too. Did you see the video? You saw the video?
I didn't see the video. I scrolled past.
There's a video of some dude that they're saying is over in Israel. I admit I had to watch that video several times because I was like, wow.
Yeah, but I mean,
maybe it could be AI. I don't know if I believe that. But whoever put that video together and whoever that is, if that is not an AI video, if that's an actual video of somebody over there, I declare it will have you believe in it. It will have you believe in it.
I don't know, but
I don't know.
What if he is alive?
Then he alive? What about? I don't understand. If he alive, okay. Is he gonna come back and tell some of the things that we need to be told to turn things around? No. So if he alive, he alive. That's how I look at it. It just adds to the conspiracy. Are we going to find out about it? But that video, it looked like it. I mean, really, it's not. I don't believe it. I'm not into that conspiracy. But it makes you go, when I saw it.
Chilling next to Tupac.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they kept Tupac alive for a long time.
Yeah, Tupac. Yeah. He's chilling next to
What do y'all think about the gun? What's that woman? Is it Guthrie? Guthrie woman? A lot of people, I see people saying that the Clinton said her, people just go down such rabbit holes. I'm not buying anything what's going on with that, because none of that has made any more sense. The kidnapping of, what is her name, Savannah Guthrie, her mom?
Oh yeah, the Today Show lady.
Yeah, it's more to that than whatever that is that's going on. Because, I mean, the FBI and the police and stuff, I mean, they're just inept. And TMZ is involved with the getting the clip. That whole thing, I was hoping they would have done had that woman back by now, but whatever that is, I don't know if I'm buying any of that. So a lot of people think that Trump and them had it done as a distraction. You know, anything's possible.
Yeah, but why would they take that lady for a ransom? I ain't heard of ransom in like over 10 years. Was it for a ransom they took her?
And in the United States, I mean, and like you have like those countries in South America, Colombia and Mexico and stuff, that them cartels and stuff kidnap people all the time. But that's there. And a lot of times law enforcement and the officials and stuff be involved in that. But in the United States, they was like they wanted Bitcoin. And people would say because Bitcoin is hard to trace. That's not true. I don't know. It's just a lot of it does not make no sense. Whatever it is.
Well, yeah, but like you said, they can't depend on this fucking government, the FBI, the CIA, nobody in this government to find that woman's
ain't doing
mother.
Nothing. It's just whatever that is that's going on with that woman, whether it's the family, whether it's the Orange administration. People saying that the Clinton said her kidnapped for. I just don't know how people. I saw somebody talking about that on IG. I was like, how y'all get the Clintons into that? It make more sense if you was to say that the administration is doing it for a distraction. How does that help the Clintons, that woman being kidnapped? I mean, the United States is so far off the cliff till it's pathetic. And with the conspiracy theories, then I don't know. Just go ahead and we just need to fall off the cliff and just be done as far as I'm concerned.
But I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't put the Clintons in that kidnapping, but the Clinton
that don't make no sense.
Yeah, the Clinton hands ain't clean when it comes to all this other crazy shit that's going on.
But they ain't got to be doing that
with rich people.
Trump would. I can see Orange and them doing that for whatever
Trump is
reason.
a disgusting piece of shit. I'm telling you, that man allegedly has sex with these children, murdered some damn children, abused the children, allegedly. All that shit is in these files, what Donald Trump did. And clearly there's witnesses telling us Donald Trump participated. I mean, I don't know. Trump is a disgusting piece of shit, and now he's taking money from him. This motherfucker is the only president that came into presidents that wasn't rich, but now he's a fucking billionaire. He's a fucking piece of shit. And he's a billionaire and can't pay reparations to black people. He's a billionaire and can't keep homeless and can't get the homeless off the goddamn street. He's a billionaire, can't make housing costs go down or rent go down. He don't give a fuck about the American people. Not about the health care, not about the prescription costs. He got all this money coming into him, but ain't shit coming to the American people. And people like ABC and Sarge is too damn stupid to see that this motherfucker don't give a fuck about the American people. He don't care. None of his administration do. Long as they can make money.
That's true.
Everybody gonna suffer.
That's true, but reparations to black people, shoot, they don't even want the poor people to have SNAP, Tyrone.
Yeah.
They don't even want to get the poor people SNAP. So, I mean, come on.
And my point with saying all of that is when people come on here saying this government can't afford reparations, that's a motherfucking lie. That is a lie. You see all the money collected by Elon Musk, Donald Trump. You see all the money that he's given out of this country to foreign countries. All that money that we talking billions of fucking dollars could have satisfied reparations 10 times over.
Yeah, but I'm down with the reparations, the conversation. But I think now where we are, my mind, I'm not even thinking about that. I just let the people have to snap and let the people be able to go to the doctor and stuff when they sick.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. But they could afford all of that. Is my point. They can get.
Yeah, they can afford all of it.
They can get rid of this. They can get rid of this homeless. They can get rid of this homeless shit in this country if they want.
Do something about the homeless.
Yeah.
Can we get the cancer research for the kids back? Can we get that? Can just some little things. Can we get that back? Can we get the people, the poor people? Can the elderly people get a little bit of SNAP? How about raise the Social Security benefits for the retired and senior citizens who work their whole life, raise that up a little bit. Give them a few more $100 a month. I'm down with that.
Or the
and raise up the SNAP.
Or the minimum wage, raise that. They can do that, and they can lower.
Raise that up. We can do that.
They can lower the retirement age back down to where the fuck it was. It's just.
Can we get that back down to 65 or 60? Can we get that back? That kind of stuff. That's what I would like to see. If you ain't gonna give reparations. My mind ain't think about that.
And the Democrats' hand ain't clean either, because I'm waiting. I'm waiting on these motherfuckers to take charge, and I guarantee you they ain't gonna do shit to them damn Trump people that broke the goddamn law. They ain't gonna do shit about these Epstein files. You know what? They may release unredacted lists, but if they get a chance, they're gonna give excuses on why they can't do it, because the Democrats their hands ain't clean either. I know I vote for them motherfuckers.
They ain't gonna do it.
I know I vote for them, but they ain't worth a shit either. Because they still gonna have they still gonna be supporting Israel and genocide. I mean, the Democrats ain't shit either, but I vote for them.
They still beholden to big pharma, fossil fuel, all of that. They still beholden to these billionaires and the corporations and these oligarchs. They're still beholden to them. And when it comes time for all the punishment, for all of the things, because a lot of people have been harmed so far. And let's just keep it on America. Let's keep it on America. We're not even going to talk about them cutting the aid countries. Let's keep it on America for right now. A lot of people have been harmed. And when it comes time for people like, well, y'all need to fix these people and charge these people, do these things, they're going to say the same thing they did when Trump was gone the first time. Well, the country needs to heal.
And I want y'all to
hear that same thought.
I want y'all to notice how we stopped talking about Donald Trump kidnapping a goddamn president of a goddamn country, Venezuela. Why aren't we talking about that no more? Because Donald Trump and his goddamn family is getting paid personally off of that oil in Venezuela. That shit is not coming to the American country. There is no way we still got that fucking president captured and Donald Trump ain't reaping the benefits of his fucking military move down there. There's no way. We just ain't holding it.
But eventually they're going to have to take our tax dollars to help support them over there until they can get, because y'all done pulled the man out. You didn't allow them to have elections. You're trying to run. Our tax dollars is going to have to go over there to help crunch them up.
Yeah, but I guarantee you Donald Trump making money off of that damn oil. I know it ain't being reported.
Oh, yes.
It ain't being reported nowhere, but he did it for a goddamn
reason.
For him
and some other people personally, but as they giving money trying to crunch up the government and stuff over there, they're giving our tax dollars over there. But they want to cut the SNAP benefits. They want to cut Medicaid and Medicare. But all that money when all that money that they gave them, what country was that for that bailout? Which country was that?
Was it one of them South American countries, right?
Yeah, I can't think of which country. All that bailout that they gave them, what was it, $40 billion or whatever it was, and then they upped the amount. That was supposed to bail out all of them, the rich people that went over there and invested in the government. So, and it didn't turn out the way they want. So that's bailing them out. But they don't want to give the people snap. But I just have to say this, but the people still, at Christmas time, went and they shopped. I just can't, that really bothered me. I thought the people were going to stand up and not really spend the money this holidays and show, because if you want change, you want things to be different, you got to show these people. You have to not buy their stuff. And when they see that it's hurting them in their pocket, then they will come down on this administration. No, the people took out payday loans and charged up stuff and bought it anyway. So, I mean, you get what I was disappointed that the people.
Yeah, it was $40 billion, $40 billion to Argentina.
Yeah, Argentina, yeah, that's it.
And it says something about $20 billion in taxpayer funding. This move has faced criticism. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
These people are just taking advantage of us. It's just stripping us and using our money. All of these, and like the thing he did with the EPA today, they're getting rid of the this and the that. And then when you look up, who's going to be the short-term benefit of that? Fossil, the car industry, and all the cars are going to be cheaper. No, they're not. No, they're not.
No,
they just don't have to pay. They don't have to pay for these people, the car companies and Fossil, they don't have to pay for the regulations. They had to pay, when Obama them said that thing, they had to pay money for for different EPA regulations. They ain't going to have to pay that no more.
Yeah, they're gonna lower. They're gonna make more dangerous. They're gonna make more dangerous cars, and pollution in this country is gonna get worse.
And charge you the same plus more.
Yep.
You see how it's done? No, but people still go to the store and shop, buy this stuff.
Yeah, I mean Trump is really he's doing a number on this country, and I don't think the Democrats is going to undo it. I just don't.
I hope. They're not going to undo what they should do because they beholden to that stuff too.
Yeah. So we just live in a fucked up country right now. We just do. I don't know. Maybe
we're being robbed blind.
Maybe it was just like perception before Trump that this country was doing all right. I think it really was. But they still.
It was no better.
It was. We
but
still
we
had
were still being robbed, Tyrone.
Yeah.
We were still being robbed, and we were still being played in our faces. And then now, when they decided we just gonna take even more, and they're like, "Damn, we'll trick them all with religion. We'll trick them all, give them somebody to hate and point a finger at, while we rob them suckers blind."
That's all it took. All it took for them to demonize the left and demonize liberals and demonize people of color. That's all it took.
Immigrants and all of that, and get you and hype up the religious aspect of it and get everybody crazy, hating and pointing fingers at one another. But it robbed everybody. And when people was like, okay, look, this is what we need to do. We need to shut this shit down. We need to this, and that. Boycott to this, do to this, don't shop. That is our way of protest and fight back. I'll be damned if people did. We did the targets and the other things, but I'll be damned. People was like, it's Christmas. It's the wonderful time. Think about Christmas, and they went right out and shopped anyway. It was disappointing. It was so hurtful to me that the people. I was like, they're supposed to have these places empty. We want change. Stop it. Stop these billionaires and these corporations that's doing this to us. No. And you turn around, it's starting to look a lot like Christmas everywhere I go. And people ran around and gave them more money. But you had to put it on your credit card, and you had to take out payday loans to do it. We stupid. The people are stupid.
Yeah, this country is gone downhill fast. And he got two.
Every day, I thank God that I
didn't
have any children to have to bring here, to have to go through what they're going to go through after all of this is over. But I'm just bitter right now. Let me stop because I'm bitter. So let me pull back a little bit. I just feel bitter.
Yeah, they won.
I don't think it's the way it used to be, and I don't think it should, because the curtain has been pulled back, and we all see what the real deal is. There has to be.
We see now. We see now. You're right.
I don't want it the way it used to be. I want better.
Yeah.
Structural change.
Do you, Miss Lady, do you think the Democrats is going to fix it?
No.
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 Me either.
No. They're gonna do a little something. But as far as what we need structural overall, every type of change, no, they not. Because the moment if they able to get back in charge, the country needs to heal. We're gonna hear that. We're gonna hear it.
Yeah, that's what makes me so mad. That's what makes me so mad when I hear people talking about them Trump supporters. Now they changing their mind. They're gonna come over here. Fuck them.
Well, they are.
Fuck them.
They're not coming over, but we do need them to change their mind.
No, I don't need them motherfuckers. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Yes, after we need them to change their mind, Tyrone. No. If you expect to win the midterms, if we have a midterm, that has to happen.
Just like I watch all these liberal shows, and every time Joe Rogan say something, the smallest thing against Donald Trump, they be on there. Well, Joe Rogan is changing his mind on Trump. Fuck Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan put his ass in the damn office.
Well, you know,
it's never what. Go ahead. Finish. Go ahead.
Just played that clip of Nick Fuentes is railing, and now he's sick of them white nationalists. Okay, he called them a bunch of losers.
What, because of the Super Bowl? Is that the clip you're talking about? Were we talking about the Super Bowl?
All of it, and they're just dumb and blah blah. And yes, there's Mexicans in the country, and so what?
Yeah, I seen him saying that he enjoyed the halftime show. I was like, what?
Because he's Mexican. The whole thing is crazy.
Hispanic, but it's called Losers and Idiots. Nick Fuentes disavows white nationalism. That's on that secular dude's channel. You know, the secular talk.
Yeah, Carl,
I saw that.
What's his damn name? I forgot his name.
It's funny. It's like, come on, you helped usher in all this madness, okay, and now you want to buck out.
Because how it was turning on his people. But you know what, Tyrone? I agree with you. What has gotten on my nerves a little bit, I watch all the alternative news and stuff, and you take like Midas. I watch them. I have gotten to the point that Donald Trump has had he was railing out last night, and his whole day was this, and he did this. And it was just so explosive. Yeah. And he went on a rant. And then when they played what it was, like, that ain't nothing. I'm just sick of everything and everybody.
Because nothing's really changing. Well, they supposedly leaving, a lot of ICE is leaving Minneapolis, but they say now they're disguising themselves as Uber drivers and construction workers and stuff to go and grab people.
So it depends on who you watch and what they're saying and what they show you. And everybody, they're just hyperbolic.
Hyperbolic, yep, that's exactly what they titled.
Yeah, yep. And it's just like, okay, he had an explosive at this time. Okay, what was explosive? Then when you watch, it's really nothing that they're saying. You don't have to be so hyperbolic about it. Let us know what's going on, and if something really happened, then show that. And he had really explosive, and they really did. Ain't nobody really did nothing. I've gotten to the point where I'm tired of that. Yes, there's been changes. Yes, the administration is cracked, and a lot of the things that they're trying to do, they're not being able to do. All of that. But I'm tired.
Yeah, they titled them shows for clicks, and I caught on a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I said, I ain't finna watch
I don't even watch as many of them and I watch. I
But
watch
there's
some.
one channel that hasn't that don't do that, and that's Brian Tyler Cohen.
Tyler Cohen, he don't do it.
He
And
immediately, as soon as you click on the video, he lets you know what that video is about, and then
And he
from
gets
that
straight
point
to
on,
it, yeah.
and from that point on, if you want to continue watch, I usually continue because he's pretty good. But he's one of them that don't do that hyperbolic shit, you know.
And aren't you
David
part of all those things that they put like 2 and 3 times in their clip? I'm so tired of that too. All of a sudden they're talking, then they pivot to some commercial.
Yeah.
I just, I understand. David Pakman is usually to the point. I don't get that much to him, but he's usually to the point. Brian Tyler Cohen is to the point.
Yeah.
Secular talk, he's to the
Secular
point.
talk is good too. Yeah.
And the little young, one of the young guys, I can't think of his name. He just have on the tie. He's
Adam
pretty much
Mockler?
Yeah, he's kind of to the point.
Yeah.
And Jesse Dollamore,
yeah, he's pretty good.
He's to the point, but I got to the point. I can't stomach Midas too much.
Yeah, him and Keith Edwards. Keith Edwards used to be good, but I don't know what the hell going on with him.
I watch MSNBC. Some of them on there, they put out some pretty good information and stuff like that. But this is what will tell Miss Lady, who I got deleted all of him. The bald-headed Muslim dude, and I can't even think of his channel.
So Shaheed Bolton? Bolton?
Yeah, him. I blocked his channel off. I'm going to suggest, Tyrone, did you start? I was following him before she started talking about him anyway. I was listening to some of his stuff. So I have subscribed to his channel. And he's really good, very good speaker, extremely smart, and very knowledgeable.
Mm-hmm.
Until he got on this Epstein stuff. Till he started talking about the Epstein stuff.
What is he doing in like conspiracies and stuff?
No. He's hitting a lot of the things, but this is what he's doing. He's saying this is all Western behavior.
Oh.
Western mentality. No, wait a minute. Western mentality. And any of like the Muslim names and stuff that was caught up in the things,
yeah,
he's downplaying it. And when he starts saying, because you got to remember, this man is Muslim. And when they were talking about, he was like comparing all the women, like he would say things like Cardi B and this, and it's just the behavior. Cardi B, them grown ass women, those grown women, Meg Thee Stallion, and those are grown women with autonomy over their bodies. And he was talking about the young girls and stuff, and he was calling them prostitutes.
Mm.
And he was saying that it's a Western thing. Islam and Muslims, we don't. Yes, you do. This is worldwide, this type of behavior. And the sex trafficking and the using of women and young girls and children, this is worldwide. And he was like, and Jeffrey Epstein, he is not all of this, that. He was downplaying all of that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm done with him. This is worldwide. This is not a Western thing.
Because they're still chopping people's heads off in Saudi Arabia. they really do.
And all of the things, and the treatment, and me being a woman, that bothered me hearing that from him. You're downplaying all of this, what Epstein and them is doing. You're double talking with any of the Muslims, the Arab Muslim, that were on the list, and that this is the white man thing, and this is no. This type of stuff is worldwide.
Yeah, I guarantee you over there in Saudi Arabia, I guarantee you they got a setup just like Epstein. I guarantee you.
And over in Dubai and the places like that, but he's trying to downplay it like it's not all of that. and the young girls who were raped, they were prostitutes.
Well, this is what I heard. This is what I heard about Dubai. You know, because I be watching shorts. These Instagram models, and you see them on Instagram in Dubai. The reason they get paid so much to go to Dubai, and I ain't gonna say nothing gross, but those girls go over there so those Saudi Arabian people can do the most disgusting things that you can think of to those, and then they give them a bunch of money. So
the father. Remember when Cardi broke out and she was over there and crying in the camera, talking about right over there in Dubai about how she don't think she should even basically be in this industry and what she has to deal with and go through. See, and all that kind of mess. I'm like, yeah, she over there getting defiled, and that's part of that ritual and stuff she got to go deal with. And I think a lot of it happens that way. I know a lot of
I mean, those people over there are gross, just like these white men. All of these people.
It's worldwide. It's worldwide.
Yeah, see, if you they kind of got
out of the continent.
They kind of got like a parallel. They kind of got like a parallel history with Europeans, because back in the day they had a big massive slave trade, and they came up off of slaves just like the Europeans did. So they probably got the same behavior as Europeans. So,
they do.
Yeah.
They do. This is worldwide. And when you're trying to downplay and put it all on Western culture and trying to downplay it with a different culture, this stuff is never going to end. And he's like, as long as
America existed, okay.
that's what I'm done with.
America, before the Europeans came over here, and so they engaged in all that foolishness. And listen, if you're a foreigner trying to go work, they say they'll take your passport and you stuck, and now they could treat you real bad. Especially like those third world people that go over there trying to be maids and nannies and work in a hotel and all that kind of stuff. They in trouble.
Yep.
A lot of
this stuff.
Yeah, so the Muslims don't get off easy because they're just as disgusting as the European. And
when it comes to certain things that they do, yes, they are.
And then
treatment of women.
And I shouldn't generalize, because you do got some Muslims that's all right, but for the majority of them people,
yes,
they freaking crazy.
But this type of behavior is a worldwide. It's always been. It's always a thing. As you try to say that they don't do that. It's just Western culture, Western behavior. No, it's not.
Perverts and Satanists everywhere, demonic people everywhere.
No, there was a Sultan.
Everywhere, yes.
There was a Sultan in the Epstein file. I think he was from Saudi Arabia. That was one of the names that they just. That was just one of the names that they released.
And so, I mean, that bothered me. That bothered me. I saying this name no more.
Because he starts putting the Muslim faith up high on a pedestal, and, you know, he's being disingenuous with that, you know?
Yes, there you go. There you go. Absolutely. So that's why when I said, very smart man, but I see you. And when he talked, somebody had asked about their culture as it relates to women. We protect women. We this, that, so. That's good. Everybody needs to be protecting everybody. But you don't look at women as equal. And then you downplay sex trafficking and you call girls prostitutes. Girls, underage, prostitutes.
They don't protect women. I mean,
they don't.
No, they control women. They have to wear hijabs and all that kind of bullshit.
Excellent word, Tyrone. They control.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I kept trying to tell myself, you have to remember this is a Muslim. And not all of them, not all. But I don't deal in Christianity. But Islam with people. Let me stop, because people get mad and they mess up the channel. But
Well, no, you're right. All this stuff, all that evil stuff is rooted right in them books, right in them Qurans and Bibles and whatever, the Torah, all that evil stuff is right in there.
All that stuff. And see, Tyra, I pulled back so it's not just to mess up the channel. And then
Oh, you fine. We can talk about religion. I don't give a. I just cut back because some of these people that was on the line is sensitive, and I don't want to offend people. So I'll be fair and not say so much.
Yeah, you used to be terrible. You were terrible.
Yeah.
And it's not that I didn't agree with you. I was just like, some people need that.
No, they
so
do.
I remember I kept telling you that some people need that.
And I can say that I've grown. I can say that I've grown enough to see that people do need that, and I don't need to be trying to put them down. So that's just. That's.
I agree with you. I agree because we're on the same page when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm.
But some people need that, and I think it's needed. So, could you imagine how some people would be without it?
Yeah.
But then we, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
That's why I said I keep my mouth shut on that. But we see how some people are like Christian nationalists and how they use it.
Yep.
So I mean, we just gotta mess with it. But I know some people who need that.
I mean, but that's the exact reason why they're fighting in Israel right now is because of those holy books. That's why they're killing people. That's why they're committing genocide. That's why they look at the Palestinians as they need to be wiped off the face of the earth because of those holy books.
And the Christian nationalists think that they should rule over everybody and that it's for the white man. And so it's a mess.
It's a white supremacy movement, to be honest.
It's white supremacy. It's a mess.
And they're not going to want to give that up. And that's why this country is going to move forward, because they have to address that mindset, how it's been set up for them, and all of that. And until they really address that, this country's not going to move forward.
Well, and I can give black people credit for their Christianity. The only thing that they did that was extreme was change their color of their Jesus. But they are sticking to, just like the core Christianity, the way it used to be. So I can give black people credit for that. What's up, ABC?
Hey, what's happening? Hold on, let me turn on
the churches and they do Social Security checks to those pimping pastors, wearing Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
And those driving expensive cars and jets and all that foolishness. That has been terrible for black people.
What's up?
Sit up there.
What's up, ABC?
But some people need it. My people need it.
What's that, ABC?
I think they don't believe.
This lady ain't letting you talk.
They don't know any better. They don't see another way. They haven't been exposed. I don't think they need it at all. They think they do. That's just my
agree
opinion.
With you. But if you're not going to see another way, you might need that. So I don't know. It's just a ball of confusion. So I don't try not to say much more about it.
Well,
I'm sorry, ABC. Go ahead, ABC. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say to Tyrone, about this religion. So I guess you don't believe in evil. There's no evil. Evil is a spiritual type of thing, right? So it's a spiritual type of thing. So sounds like you don't believe in evil. Is that true, or am I misinterpreting what you were saying, Tyrone?
Well, evil is an adjective that can be used to describe anything, man. What are you saying?
Oh, okay. Well, we got terms like bad or criminal, that kind of thing. Evil is a connotation that I take from it is, it's some kind of spiritual, demonic thing. Like Aleister Crowley, right? And what I'm getting at is, I think that's who these people are. All this messing with kids and torture and all that kind of shit, that's beyond you just a bad guy like a thug or a gangster or something. That you got some kind of demonic spirit And whatever you want to call it, it's some kind of spiritual thing. You overtaken. Aleister Crowley's whole thing was about using this quote black magic or something to gain power. It gives you some kind of power. You do these certain acts and all that kind of shit.
Well, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah,
and
sex magic. Yeah.
I get where you're coming from, and you can describe some of the things that we're talking about in that manner. But because I don't subscribe to that spirituality and religious stuff, I just think that I won't use evil. I could say bad or I don't know. You could whatever word you want to use in the context. These people are wrong. You know, these people are doing something terrible. So
no, we all on the same page with that. I mean, I agree with you on that. I'm just getting that who these people are. I think it's a cult. It's a cult. Is what it is. Yeah, and these people believe in all that spiritual stuff.
With fire and having these temples and doing all this torture. And there's something very demonic.
Yeah, you can describe it as that, and I think that you're right. It can be looked at as demonic. It's immoral. It's disgusting.
I agree with you.
It's just
you can use all of those words.
All those words.
All of those words.
Yeah.
What's with this? You remember Jay-Z was doing that spirit cooking with that strange woman, and and they put their foreheads together and all this old crazy stuff.
I think her name is Abramovic or something like that. Abrahamovic or some lady. But the thing about all this, and the only reason I brought that kind of thing up is to say that, we're talking about the evil, the Epstein, and this whole thing. I heard you talking about the pizza and the jerky and shit that's in there. And again, like I said, now you're coming around to this stuff. But I'm saying all of that is you got to be beyond a bad person. You got to be overtaken with the demonic spirit to be even thinking of some shit like that, let alone doing it.
Well, I understand what you just said, right? But if you look at the history of this country, and I'm just talking about the transatlantic slave trade, those people that brought us over here was doing the exact same thing when it came to black people. They was taking our skin, making furniture and jewelry. They was actually eating us. Whenever they lynched, they would take pieces of the body home with them as souvenirs. It's the same behavior. And instead of looking at it, instead of looking at it in a spiritual manner and evil, these people, that's genetic in these goddamn people. That's why I call them savages, because their behavior has never changed. I don't know what else to say. Is that people can describe it as demonic because in that book it describes terrible stuff like what's happening, but it's immoral, and it's in their DNA.
Well, what is morality?
A sickness.
Yeah.
A sickness.
But I don't like the word sickness because that's like, hey, we all get sick. Like if I get obviously there's different degrees of it, right? There's degrees. It's like sick with a cold
different
and
degrees.
Sick with like deranged. I'm out of my mind.
Derangement.
I get what you're saying.
Well, it's like a psychosis. That's a sick.
If you're willing to eat kids, or skin somebody and make furniture out of them and shit, you beyond that kind of shit. You on some other stuff.
But see, okay, yeah, you and I agree with you. You are on other stuff, but to me, it's cultural for them. It's what they're used to. They always done this stuff. So in recent times,
what it is, Tom?
Wait a minute, hold on.
Y'all talked about it earlier.
In recent times, what they had to do was go on an island and hide it, or go over to Dubai and hide it. It's not out up front no more. Go ahead.
Right, but just like you said, how some of these Muslim countries, or some people in these Muslim countries are on that stuff. Some people in the European countries on that stuff. They on that. It's all over the world, and I heard, I think Alicia was saying it. It's all over. And the thing about it, I talked with Allfacts about this on my show last week. The brother on Urban X talks about, what's he say? If you want to know the unknown, study the known. So I look at the way the world is today, right? And the way the world is today is there is secret societies, and it's something like that would be on all that shit. The regular people ain't on that. We all are. It's abhorrent, and we're just, it's hardly any words to describe it. It's like, who the F would be messing with kids? Sexually, let alone cannibalism and shit. Who would be a cannibal? We just can't deal with that stuff. But it's these people that belong to those cults or societies that's on that get off on it. And it's like you become overtaken with that shit. And that's a spiritual thing.
Well, there's a gateway that we can actually draw a line to show you who's in that club. And that has to do with economics. Everybody that we're talking about that's involved in that stuff is part of the 1%.
Economics is a byproduct of it.
But no, it's no. In order, the people that we're talking about currently,
he wasn't rich when he was.
I'm saying currently, the people we're talking about currently is in a certain economic class. They're rich and wealthy people. We're not talking about
their families. Their families are on this stuff. The Rothschilds and all them.
So that's the gateway.
That's a family thing.
That's what I'm saying. That's the gateway. Is these wealthy people, once they get a certain status or a certain amount of money, they just do anything. Look at P. Diddy and, like y'all said, Jay-Z and R. Kelly. Once they reached a certain category, that's when that behavior became like that.
But look at how it happens though. It starts off, they get introduced to that. These people, they get into music and all that entertainment stuff. Hey, I want to be famous, I want to be rich, and they get that stuff. But it's like a ritual. Okay, we're giving you that, like the Bible say. I'm gonna take you up and show you can have the world, but you got to bow down to me. And I ain't saying they thinking that when they join it, they just want to make money and be famous and shit. But now they at the parties, somebody messing with them, and you get pulled into that shit. And before you know it, you out there like Whitney Houston or something. They got you drugged up. You got to keep taking drugs to feel any kind of sanity because you're in this corrupt, demonic world.
Well, you went a different way. I didn't say they joined anything. Like, let's take R. Kelly, for instance. Once he became a certain amount of money, that gave him power. And that type of power set off a mindset to where he can start doing these crazy things.
Then he started doing things, and then he got caught. Let me add something to it. How I look at it, this is something totally different. But it's a mindset. It's a psychosis. It's a thing that get when they start doing these things. There was the dancing plague of 1518. It's a historical phenomenon that happened in Strasbourg. And it was an incident that went on where someone went out in the street and in the town square and they were dancing. This has happened several places and they kept dancing. And it was like people saw this and it became like a psychosis with them. And then before they knew it, the whole street was filled with people dancing, and they had a strange look on their face. And then by that time, they were all poured into it, and they could not stop. And they danced and danced and danced. And a lot of people, it spread to like 400 people, and it lasted for 2 months. People dropped dead from heart attacks, from stroke, from exhaustion, before it finally ended. So the reason why I put that out there, because a lot of times I don't look at when people be doing certain things as necessarily demonic, evil, the devil, all of it. You can use all of those words. It's perfect. But a lot of times it's like this dance and play. Other people are doing it. So once you get into it and you get started, then something happens there and you can't stop and you continue. And then you groom and you introduce it to more people. It's a mind thing. That's why I call it a sickness. There's different levels of sicknesses, psychosis, and things like that.
Well, yeah, they call that
demonic, and they can't stop. They can't stop.
I just looked that up, and they call that. Let me say this right here. I just looked that up, and they call that mass hysteria. And epidemic.
So it's levels to this. Levels.
But what about that guy who took those black people to Guyana? And then they all drank the Kool-Aid and all this kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about? And what I'm saying is that
about Jim Jones.
Yeah, Jim Jones. So, and like any of these cults or whatever, they get your mind. You get seduced into it, but after a while, they didn't got you. It's like they didn't program you. The whole MK Ultra and all that kind of shit. They're able to get in your mind. It's like they capture who you are. And where I'm going with all of this is this stuff, and this is what I used to talk about in the past, and Pizzagate, and Tyrone, you talked all that shit. I'm still saying welcome to the party and shit. But
Me and you are not on the
this has
same
always
page.
existed. It's always existed, and it ain't just this one group or this group. It's anybody who joins that cult, whether it's voluntary or involuntary. You might not know you joined it. They slip some shit in your drink, and now they messing with you and doing all this, and you don't know how to act or what to do, and you end up, a couple of those, and now you all part of it too and shit. You got seduced into it.
Yeah.
And look, this is my opinion. I don't know exactly how it goes, but I know that you are not of your mind or your spirit if you're able to engage in shit like that. That's insanity, man.
Yeah, but I'm just want to clear this
I
up.
agree with you.
Me and you are not on the same page because you was following that QAnon stuff. That is not what I'm following. I'm not following QAnon.
Keep saying that shit, and then when they come out with an expose on Pizzagate, say all that shit was real, you'll be like, well, yeah, it's right here in the paper. The white man said it, so it must be real. It's a fact now because the white man told me.
No, that is not.
That's you. That's exactly who you.
That is not how this is going to.
You
end
wait
up.
for him to tell you what's
But
real.
I wait for facts.
It's just like religion. It's just like religion. I was raised up Catholic, went to Catholic school, did the whole nine, and I remember I used to feel sorry because I don't know how other religions are, but we were taught purgatory. That's where the babies go, and we had to confess our sins every Sunday. Do a confession, and then take and it on Sundays. It's just different. There's a lot of ritualistic stuff. As far as I'm concerned, as an ex-Catholic. And we were always told that we were going to, certain things, you were going to burn eternally in hell. And I believed that. And you had to do good. You had to do your confessions. You had to do your Hail Marys and your penance and different things like that. When I went to the school, certain things, you got to do the marriage. And when I finally broke away from Catholicism, I was thinking, after I became very young adult, then I was looking at maybe I should do the Baptist too. And it's the same type of thing. You raised on that stuff. It was taught to you when you were little. And I remember whenever I used to do something bad, like take some quarters that I wasn't supposed to take, something that's nothing, and it would be on my mind when I get into bed at night and saying the Hail Mary, that if I don't get forgiveness from this, I'm going to burn in hell. And I used to worry about all the babies who weren't born or the babies who died at a certain age, that all the little children and the babies are going to go to purgatory. Not hell, but purgatory, the in-between. And, that's craziness. And when I finally was able to pull away from that, and Catholicism ain't much different from all the rest. So when we talk about these people who believe it and all of this stuff, evil and demonic is great words, but it's the same sort of thing. Am I right or wrong, Tyrone?
Yeah, you right. You right. Yeah, I mean, the reason that
I think what it comes down to,
go ahead,
is that just like you talked about Catholicism, there's rituals and all of this stuff, and what's the purpose of the ritual? To bring you into this religion or this cult or this club, this secret society and all that kind of shit. And that's a mental bond. Once you go through that, it's like, hey, you part of us and all this kind of shit. So there's some kind of feeling, attachment and stuff that you get from that. But then when you start gaining from it, gaining money, gaining fame, gaining power, and all of that, again, it's like a mind fuck. But I honestly think that there's a spiritual component to it too. And I think that's what the Bible is saying, basically, is that, you get seduced by this stuff. And if you're of this world, the simple thing is the monetary stuff. People, think they're going to be happy by getting all these things. And then you get that stuff and then you still feeling empty and shit. Because you don't have the real stuff like,
people ain't,
whatever, family, friends, and all that kind of shit.
People ain't saying this out loud, but when I first seen that blue and white building on Epstein's Island, it kind of resembled a mosque to me. So whenever y'all talking about the religious connection, there is a blue and white building on that island. I don't know if y'all seen it, but it's a big old
Yeah, them Jews.
Yeah,
They all about that shit.
That's my point.
They the kings of the demons. They the king demons on earth and shit.
So there was some type of
Don't. Google. That's just his opinion. Google. That's his opinion.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, it resembles a monster to me, but there's some type of ritualistic religion, spiritual stuff connected to what was going on with these children on that island. But
with all of those blue buildings and temple look at what was on the end, that statue that he had on the end, that Belgium Congolese statue. Do y'all know what statue I'm talking about that he has? That Belgian Congolese. Type out on the screen. Type in Epstein Belgian, and so, whoever might be watching or watch this later, they'll see what I'm talking about. Type in on Google Epstein's Belgian Congolese statue.
Belgium.
And he has it at the tip end, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's ritualistic. It's a lot of different things. And you'll see the statue that I'm talking about. He bought it at auction.
Well, here's one with a man. Let me put Epstein there. I'm sorry.
Epstein, Belgium, Congolese statue. Scroll up. Did you type in Epstein? Yeah, right there, the one in the middle with the bow and arrow. At the top with the bow and arrow. No, at the top. Scroll back down. Scroll down. No. Scroll down. The screen,
this one
the whole
right here.
screen. Where it has a bow and arrow and it's blue. Yeah, there you go.
Now, what's that? What's the story behind that?
I'm sorry, say again?
What's the story behind that?
If Epstein has such a statue, he bought it at auction, and he had it on his island. And at the front, like at how those things look like temples going down, he has that giant Belgian Congolese statue. Y'all didn't notice that? See the pool? You see the one on the top left in front of the pool? That's on his island. The one on the top left. Yeah, you see?
So this is Epstein's pool.
Yep. And you see those little temple-looking things off inside.
Yeah.
That keeps and people, and not enough people. I need more Black people to get into that and find out what is it that he was doing with it. Well, I know you can buy whatever you want. It's a piece of art, but this statue is familiar to many in Brussels. It's a copy of the Archer of the Belgian sculptor Arthur Dupin. The very same work that stands somewhat obtrusively on the junction between Place du Quartier, I'm probably mispronouncing it, Avenue du Front of Etterbeek. Just a few steps of these things, these buildings, just the Congolese. And I'm more people.
Uh-oh, did you? Okay, can you hear me? Sound like you faded out there. Hello? Or was it me?
No, you straight.
Oh, I don't know what happened. Lisa, we can't hear you talking no more. But yeah, guys, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on this island. And just to re-clarify, ABC, the way that I'm speaking has absolutely nothing to do with what you guys would run around saying with your QAnon conspiracies. None. I don't know what happened to Lisa. Her battery must have died. Who was that said I was straight? That was you, mama's boy?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Because they got all silent on here. I don't know what happened. Well, just to clarify, I'll share this with y'all since I was barking at ABC. Elisa, I cannot hear you if you talking. But this goes word for what ABC was pushing back in the day. And all you got to do is Google QAnon. It says QAnon is a far-right American political conspiracy theory and political movement originated in 2017. QAnon centers on fabricated claims made by an anonymous individual or individuals known as Q. These claims have been relayed and developed by online communities and influencers. Right there, they don't have any damn documents or emails. It's online influencers and online communities. Their core belief is that a cabal of satanic, cannibalistic child molesters in league with the deep state, I ain't talking about no goddamn deep state, is operating a global child sex trafficking ring, and that Donald Trump is secretly leading the fight against them. That is ABC's core belief, and that Donald Trump was in place to get rid of the fucking child molesters. QAnons had directed the roots into Pizzagate and other conspiracy theories that appeared on the internet 1 year earlier, but also incorporates elements of many different conspiracy theories and unifies them into a larger interconnected theory. QAnons had been described as a cult. That was your mindset with the conspiracy theories. During the first presidency of Donald Trump, QAnon followers believed the administration would conduct arrests and executions of thousands of members of the cabal on the day known as the storm. This is what you believed in, or the event. QAnon conspiracy believers named Democrat politicians, Hollywood actors, and high-ranking government officials, business tycoons, and medical experts as members of the cabal of pedophiles. QAnon describes anti-Semitic or rooted in anti-Semitic tropes due to the fixation on Jewish financier George Soros, and conspiracy theories about the Rothschild family frequently target the anti-Semites. I'll stop there, but that is the root of what you believed in, because you couldn't say George Soros' name enough. And the Rothschilds, you mentioned the Rothschilds tonight. So that is not the same line of thinking that I have when evidence is coming out from the FBI of transcripts, court transcripts, people emailing each other. That is not the same thing as QAnon conspiracies. Yes, some things run parallel, like the cannibalism and the pedophilia. That stuff run parallel to what you guys were saying, but it's not the same thing. Yours was rooted in something totally different. But Elisa, yeah, you're back on the line. I believe your line dropped.
Did I try? I was talking the whole time. I did not know what I'm dealing with. I was saying some stuff about the statue, but I'll bring it back up when we have another show.
No,
I'm still trying to
you can go ahead.
I'm still trying to research that, and I was saying I'm trying to get some information on that. I have the understanding of who created it, the artist, but what exactly, it's not telling what that meant to him, what he was doing. But I do believe, I do believe they were doing, because when people start to be psychosis and doing all kinds of things, they do what they consider to be rituals. Mm-hmm. And like you said, eating babies in the blood of his. People really believe that that's doing something for them, and I don't buy into any of that. But that don't mean they're not doing it. It's not doing anything, because people's crazy. They get caught up in just like I was scared to sleep at night as a child because of being a Catholic, thinking I'm going to burn in hell. But then I got old enough, it was like, I can't fool with this anymore. But I do believe that I believe all of the wording that we've been using, correct. Do I think Satan is behind it? No. I think this man doing all this stuff, man has created all this stuff, and man has caused himself to believe these things.
Yeah.
And then it's recruitment and everybody get involved. And once you start making money off it, you don't want to let the money go. You want to stay, you want to continue to have all the money and dominate. Power is a hell of a drug, just like cocaine.
Yeah, and it's almost like those people, if they are practicing rituals, they're practicing rituals to convince themselves of whatever they're doing that's so disgusting is correct, because their rituals validate their actions. It's like, what is that? They call it cognitive dissonance. I think that's it. Yeah.
I'm use that word, but no, I agree with you. And once people get caught into that kind of stuff, that don't mean they can come and ritual light count and burn all kind of stuff. That don't mean it's gonna do anything to anybody, but they believe it, and then they do other things as far as financial and this and that can harm and hurt a lot of people.
Yeah,
that's just how I look at it.
And just because there's a group of people practicing this ideology, don't mean the ideology is real. It just means that those group of people thinking
practicing that
they something,
and they crazy.
Yeah, there's something wrong with them.
And they crazy.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
And that's the way I look
demonic
at.
And
that's the way I look at.
That's the way I look at it.
That's the way I look at MAGA. I mean, just because y'all believe the same shit, don't mean this shit is real. Donald Trump ain't coming. Donald Trump is not going to save y'all. Donald Trump ain't going to save y'all. Donald Trump ain't going to make y'all lives better. He ain't going to take care of no goddamn Democrats. You can see that he tried that to take Letitia James and James Comey and other Democrats to court to have them locked up. That shit didn't work. So Donald Trump is not going to save y'all or get rid of Democrats. That's just not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So me and you have always been on the same page when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Tyrone, you done spoiled it. Now Sarge ain't going to never come back on the line.
Well, that's what their belief is, man. That's what they believe, that Donald Trump is going to do something about Democrats. And Donald Trump know that he got limitations when it comes to that. That's why he's not pushing that bullshit. And that's why he made them look the other way when it comes to that. They don't even talk about Donald Trump going after Democrats no more, hardly. Because he can't do it. Unless they break a law. You see, they try to lock Don Lemon up. And those two reporters that got locked up with Don Lemon, I mean, technically, they weren't supposed to, well, yeah, because that FACE Act that they locked them two reporters up wasn't even for churches. They took the FACE Act and applied it to these reporters, and then they locked them up, and they tried to charge them. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just not going to happen. So they're stupid.
Yeah, but they believe that stuff. They believe, and like a lot of people, like, because I was when someone finally broke it down, and I was searching and searching, why did the evangelicals and stuff, why do they go along with this stuff? It doesn't make sense. And remember I said that's why Donald Trump is perfect, and something in the Bible that the truth and the coming and this and that will be through a person who is flawed and this and that. So that they look at him, well, he's flawed, so he was sent by Jesus, and and I was like, oh, okay. That makes sense.
You can see Donald Trump, evangelicals, is what he did was he bought those mega pastors. I guarantee you that he paid Jerry Falwell and that woman a whole bunch of damn money, and they preached to their congregation about Donald Trump. I seen that happening in real time when I seen these pastors, I forgot the Billy Graham son and all of them. He probably gave them money, and then they go preach to their congregation, and their congregation believe what their pastors say, and it started spreading like that. So that's how it got into the evangelicals, in my opinion. And now the evangelicals think Donald Trump is some type of fucking second coming or some bullshit.
That he came, that the word that it was going to be, someone was going to come that would be, because you could believe a flawed person, and he is that person. He is that coming that's going to make way for how he's going to set everything up for the second coming of Jesus.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, that is what they believe.
But that's their justifications, because the Bible got where you can repent. And so whatever Donald Trump do, whatever law he break, whatever he do that's evil, the Christians think that he can repent and the Lord will forgive him for whatever evil that he's doing.
Hey,
because he's making way for the second coming of Jesus.
Yeah.
So the last time, what was it, last week when I called into your show, you kept talking about it's the white man, it's the white man, and I get it, there's white man, but what I was just trying to say to you then, and I'm saying it to you now, when you personify it, it's like, yeah, we get rid of that person or we get rid of those people, then it's okay. But like y'all said earlier, it's in the Muslim country, it's over there, it's over here. So when you kind of like right now you're saying it's Trump did this and he did that, and ain't nobody saying that he ain't part of this, whatever. But my interest has been that if you understand this more of like that cult, and I'm saying spiritual, it's like a spiritual battle. I know you ain't down with all that, but people who have bought into this stuff, that's how TPUSA could be taken over and they being manipulated and it's moved around and all that kind of shit. The people, when Charlie Kirk was there, he's talking with the people, arguing, debating the policies and all this kind of stuff. He dies, and now they keep talking about the Lord Jesus and TPUSA faith and all this kind of shit. They using that shit to, again, reach people on the spiritual level, because they know people are like, this world is crazy, it's upside down, and I know y'all don't like to talk about it, but all that homo stuff, the child, what's coming out in these Epstein files, how is this possible? The world is upside down, and then they reach into them through this. But then if you pay attention to Candace Owens, she's showing, she's showing the records on the stuff, but she's showing all these people that are connected with it, that's using those pastors and trying to use the cloak of Christianity. They are the pedophiles, and they're the ones that's behind all this shit. And it's the same with the Jewish religion, how people are using the cloak of Judaism to do that stuff, and how people are using the cloak of Muslims to do that stuff. It's a cult it's like the changelings and shit. But what they have in common is they all about, harness the power by worshiping whatever Baal or Lucifer or some shit, and eat babies and human sacrifice and all. Who would even think up some shit like that?
Yeah,
but the people that's in on it.
But see, you come on here and you try to shade that white man any way you can. But let me just say this right here: if I had the ability to push a red button right now and get rid of every goddamn white person on this planet, ABC. 95% of
there
the
you go, Alicia. There's that Tyrone.
95% of the evil on this goddamn earth will be gone. If I could just get rid of all of them right now. Historically, we would not have 95% of the terrible shit that's going on this planet. So
I ain't gonna argue with you about it. I ain't saying you. Whenever you're
trying to include other people.
Google, he's just joking.
No, I ain't joking.
Joking, Google.
That's
Tyrone trying to show he's super pro-black.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to show you how evil these people are. Historically.
No. Well, I'm telling you ignorant, man. You try to focus it like that's going. You just said it's going to take away 95% of the stuff.
ABC,
man, it's a spirit. It's a demonic spirit that's taking over people.
Let me shut you up right now.
That's people that's of this world. That's what it is.
ABC, you're African American. No. ABC, you're African American, right? You're a black man, right? Okay, so
I'm black.
You're a black man with your roots starting in Africa. But what the fuck is your last name? And how did you get it? I don't want to know your real last name. But my point is that's the
My name is Jackson. Last name is Jackson.
But whatever your
all
last
black
name,
people last name is Jackson.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is whatever your last name is, it could be Jackson. I don't know. But
I got you. But that's our story here in the States, man. What about the people in Africa?
What I'm trying to tell you is you're stuck with that last name due to these people that I'm talking about shouldn't be here.
Ja, in die kent ook gestaan dort. Dat hebben we gemaakt de ganze team verkehrt.
Zugeblieben, sich anzuschrauben zu der einen Mula Yushilim, von Aspia verballerte Schunim, in Ballpark, Filmstück, Monsi Monroe, in jetzt auch Lakewood. Für mehr Informatie...
Elisa, is that your line?
No.
I don't know what the fuck.
I thought you did that, Tyrone.
No, that wasn't me.
I thought you was playing something.
That wasn't
you?
No, that wasn't me.
That's that demonic spirit that came in here to say
it's probably one of them damn trolls that hear me talking about pushing that damn red button.
No, but Tyrone, can I say something to calm it down a little bit?
Hey, I'm gonna mute my line here.
Okay.
Let me just say this to calm it down a little bit. I agree with what you just said. Google, I don't. I don't agree with. And I'm not just saying that to satisfy Google. I don't believe that. I don't agree with that. I think a lot of this craziness and stuff is just it's worldwide. It's all races. It's all ethnicities. So we have the craziness. We have the this. I don't think you have to get rid of 90% of one group of people to get rid of it. I don't think so.
Well, I can tell you. I can tell you that the horrors,
and Tyrone, I take offense to
hold on. I can tell you
man.
that the horrors going on in Africa, when they fighting each other, the way they fighting each other with guns and killing each other, the horrors that's going on in India, and the Europeans had a big influence on how they conduct themselves over there. Now, I can't take away them doing that because they should know better, but I can tell you that if it wasn't for Europeans, I don't think that Africa would have developed with that mindset of trying to kill each other off like that. That's just my belief. But they're
we don't know that though.
We don't know it.
We don't know it. But also, Tyrone, all I'm saying, man, because I ain't trying to go against you on that. I feel the same way you do about what I see. I said earlier, my way of understanding this world is to know the unknown. And for me, history is unknown. People write stuff, but to know the unknown, look at the known. And the way I see the world right now, a lot of that shit's coming from that one geographic area. The origin. It appears.
Yeah.
But it appears. But what my point is that regardless, there's people from everywhere that's doing that shit, and it's like the vampire bit some people. So if somebody come at me and kill me or mess with my kids or something, I don't care if you Chinese or white or black or whatever. You going down. You the devil on earth.
Right.
Whatever race you are.
Right.
So that's what I'm focused on.
But see, what I'm trying to tell you is that you've been programmed to think that way. And I'm gonna show you why. Because
I'm smart is what it is. I got some intelligence.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because you was programmed to come on here and talk about the black crime rate statistically. You was programmed to come on here and talk about how black women and single parents and all that kind of bullshit and demonize the black community, saying that we could get ahead if we just fix this in our community. But not one time have you acknowledged that they have committed more crime on that goddamn island with white children than the black community that you've been talking about worldwide.
Okay, so let me answer that.
Now, I ain't gonna let you answer shit till I finish. But you for years, people been telling us how bad and criminal black behavior is, and that's all we heard on social media. But did Epstein go in those statistics? Did Donald Trump go in those statistics? Did any of those damn children that's got raped or abused on that island go in those statistics? No, they did not. Because this is how evil they are. They set up the goddamn systems to not hold themselves accountable, but point the finger at other communities. That's what's been going on. So the next time people come on here like you and Sarah talking about how criminal black people is, I'm gonna tell y'all to go get some goddamn jerky and eat some of that child jerky.
Hey, but look, this is what I say to that. I'm saying simply this: the difference between me and you is you think that we, and in particular the men, I really take offense to this. You putting this on men, but I think that you one of these people that you think we supposed to spend most of our time talking about them, the other people, the white people. We supposed to, just keep talking about all this evil that they do. Nigga, I'm a grown man, and I did what I had to do to get through this world. I'm focused on what I need to do to fix myself, to fix my family. And I'm saying for our community, when do we, especially the men, Tyrone, stand up and talk about what we supposed to be doing to fix our situation? All you want to talk, you getting on me because I ain't talking about the white man did, the white man did, the white man did, the white man did. Man, nigga, we know he did. We know what he did. Who don't know? Again. I'm saying, when do you ever talk about this is what we doing wrong? When I talk about the stuff we doing wrong, I'm saying, look, we can control this shit. Why we out here calling the women bitches? Why we making these babies and ain't taking care of them? Why are women so easy to get abortions? We can fix this. This is something we can control. We can't control that other dude, the white guy. We can't control him.
Everything that you just named is a product of white supremacy pushing negativity in our community. Shut up.
Now.
Everything. No.
You
Listen.
totally programmed.
Why you won't let me finish? Why you won't let me finish? It's a product of white supremacy pushing negativity in our community by our own people.
Pushing negativity? How we gonna fix this shit,
Tyrone?
How we gonna fix it? No, quit talking about him for a minute. Talk about us.
Why do you get to speak and I don't?
Are you black? Do you care about the black
Why do you
community?
get to speak and I don't? I just want to know why you.
Nigga, you did talk. You told me to shut up until you finished.
Why
now
you
finished. Now we having a conversation.
I wasn't finished.
When do we talk about what we can do?
I was responding to that damn stupid ass shit you just said. And like I said, and I blame black people for it, but you can't take away the origins.
It ain't just blaming. I'm saying, look, man, why don't we just keep saying, look, we can control this. We can fix this. This is us. Stop acting like that. Stop promoting that shit. It wasn't Savvy Sav. She just did a thing about, who is it? That one guy. On the Super Bowl, they had that anti-Semitism commercial. And they used a black guy by our side, like, help him. Hey, it's okay, man. And I keep telling y'all how they use us to do their shit.
And that's exactly what I'm saying.
But we don't have to be there.
Exactly
that black guy didn't have to be in the commercial. He could have said, no, I ain't being in that commercial.
That's exactly what I'm saying, is that they use us, and once they use us and you see the results of them using us, you blame the black people. You understand?
I blame the black people for continuing to be used. How many times I got to use you before your ass gets smart and say, okay, fuck that nigga, he's the enemy.
Okay, listen, first of all, you need to stop defending white people so hard, because they are the root cause of all of this shit.
I'm standing up for us, man, is what I'm doing.
No,
hey, I got to get off the phone. I'm going to listen to you, but I got to get off the line.
All right, who's this unknown caller line I just opened?
Yeah, what is this nigga? How can he not think that he's not being used?
Well, he is being used. I was going to get around to that, but he wouldn't let me talk.
I know. You know, this nigga gets on to, but they're using us. They're also using you. So I don't understand, why he feels like he's so special that he's above being used and manipulated. Look, social engineering happens around us all the time, and so I mentioned it. I mentioned it in a sideways sort of way earlier when we were talking about the NFL reaching out to Hispanic people. That is social engineering. That is the NFL saying, hey, for years we catered to white people, and we're not doing that anymore. We're moving forward. So they are socially engineering a group of people, mainly white people, to accept other cultures into the thing that they were held sacred for so long. And they're doing it little by little, bit by bit. That is true social engineering. ABC doesn't understand that.
No, he don't. And he was talking about why black men don't take accountability and why black men. Listen, he been calling into this show for years, and none of these black men that call in here don't have the issues that he's talking about black men have, except for him. He's the one complaining about black women and single mamas and all this kind of bullshit. He's the only one that's got the goddamn problem. But all these black men that call in here, they don't have those issues. Maybe they're talking to. Now let me leave talking to alone. But they don't have the issue that he's talking about.
That was shady.
Yeah, I know.
It was shady.
Yeah, I can go down the list.
Damn,
social engineering.
Damn.
That was shady.
Yeah.
That was just a joke.
Social engineering. Yeah. Social engineering is feeding you Taco Bell and telling you it's Mexican. Social engineering is telling you Olive Garden is Italian. This is real social engineering at work, because these are things that people actually believe. They actually believe that they go to Taco Bell and they're actually eating fucking Mexican. And if you go to Mexico, they don't serve none of that shit down there. None of that shit. And that's the funny part. That is true social engineering. A lot of it comes out of advertising. But I say that because social engineering also takes subtle forms, in that believing that by calling out a problem over and over, you're providing a solution. And you're not. You're just throwing dead air, hot air into space. If you keep calling out black people's problems, that doesn't take you any closer to a solution.
And
All
don't
it
get
is
me
is you
wrong,
calling
Joe.
out problems.
There is a time and a place to talk about our issues, because we do have issues. I'm not even going to say that we don't. But
yeah, that's true.
When you run parallel to all the criticism that came against the black community, all the criminality and all the wrong things that we do, the single mamas and all that kind of shit. What you think they was doing on that goddamn island, impregnating those fucking teenage girls? They was creating fucking single parents. And they would all this crime. That crime is not documented nowhere. None of the crime that Donald Trump is committing right now is documented anywhere. So they need to get off that damn black people are criminals.
Yeah. Well, even more than that, like I said, every week he calls out black people's problems, but he provides no answer to how you solve them. So, what good is calling out a problem unless you're going to be able to address it with something? Because when you pin this dude down, he says, look into your family, take care of your family. Nigga, that's what you're supposed to do. You're genetically disposed to do that anyway. That's not a solution. That's telling somebody, that's a hat trick. That's saying, hey, I'm going to provide you a solution. Nah, I'm just going to tell you some bullshit to get you on your way. That's like people that say, well, just pray for an answer. No, God gives you the tools. If you really believe in God, he's giving you the tools to do the work. Do the work. Praying is not doing the work. And so, and a lot of folks are probably not going to like that I said that, but that's it. Mm-hmm. Praying is an easy out, and so ABC provides easy outs to a solution by fictitious outrage and, calling out the same stuff over and over and over. You ain't changing shit. All you do is call it out. You ain't changing.
Yeah, he's a human.
So how do you change it?
He's a human bot. He's a human bot, and he's
programmed. There you go.
He's programmed to attack his own community.
Yeah. The only way you change a societal problem is somebody got to put their nuts on the line. Somebody's got to do it, and that's the way it goes. And usually that person is usually the one that's going to take all the blows, take the heat, and sometimes take the fall. But if you want to change a people, somebody's got to put their nuts on the line. Somebody's got to put up something and have something to lose, mainly their life or their lifestyle, in order to make that happen. And he ain't willing to do it.
And he's so blind that he can't give black people credit when they deserve credit, like at this period in time right now.
That's all there is to it, Like I said, he's a clown in a social circus. He's amusing as fuck. I love laughing at the guy. He's funny as fuck, but I can't take him serious because, he's a clown in a social circus, man. In a clown car, I should say. He's one of many clowns in the clown car, and they all come out on Saturday. Every time you turn around, there's a new clown coming out with a new trick or something that some fictitious outrage that they're grinding their axe about. So I just laugh at it for what it is, man. And I'll mute myself.
Well, yeah, because black people deserve a lot of credit right now. Believe it or not, black people are unified on the message of not coming out, showing their ass during this time where there's military on the United Streets of America. So you give black people credit for that.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Absolutely. Tyrone, before we get off this phone tonight, I was going to ask you, I don't know if Mama's Boy is still here, whoever is still on the line. Did you watch did you watch the Super Bowl?
I didn't watch the Super Bowl, but like I said, I let Bad Bunny segment play because I wanted to give him some credit and all that kind of stuff.
You wanted to give him the view.
Yeah, but I watched bits and pieces of it afterwards, and I was impressed with what I seen.
Yeah, it was good. I don't know if Mama's Boy's on the phone. I know he watched it. But
I was there when it was on. But I didn't. I caught the very end after he got down off the electric lines and started walking out, and it was turned down too. So I couldn't hear the music or the song. No disrespect, but yeah, my sister had like a little get together, and we got the yapping,
And you missed us, but you had it on. Y'all had it on.
I saw some of it. But one of my grandnephews had a baby boy, and you know what happens when
show up.
He's like 6 months old. He right at that age where he can sit up and hold his head up, and everybody on that
Yeah, I
nigga.
know, because that's the same thing that happened to us. But we had the game on. He got the viewership, and then everybody was talking this. I was like, "Oh, shut up, y'all! It started," you know. But it was mainly just giving the view for the ratings and this that. And I watched the entire thing. I, pull it up on YouTube afterwards because you ran your mouth and we missed all the first time. I thought it was a good show. Now I'm gonna be honest. I had already made up my mind because see, I'm a Kendrick Lamar fan. I have a few of his songs I would just put in and just listen to him or repeat. No. But a few of his songs, I like him. I admire him. And I had already made up my mind that Bad Bunny was going to take the top spot of the most watched, the most viewed, the most watched Super Bowl show. And when they came out, and I thought everybody was like, "Yeah, he took the spot." I was like, "Okay, great. We've been having some great shows." And when the numbers came out, no, he didn't. That shocked me, and then I felt a little bad that he did. I don't know why. Maybe I'm fickle like that, because then the magazines came out and they was like, "Yeah, he fell short."
What you mean he fell short? I thought he had more viewership than Kendrick Lamar. That's what I seen.
No. The actual numbers came out. I think that yesterday sometime. Yesterday around midday or something. The actual numbers, no. Google it. Kendrick Lamar still holds the top spot. Michael Jackson holds the second spot, and Bad Bunny's in third.
Okay, well he did good.
That's a great show. He did a great show. But I just felt kind of bad because the magazine was like, of course they're going to come out with heat. Everybody was running. I think people kind of jumped the gun with the numbers. Wait on the numbers.
At least from what I'm seeing, it's not that far apart. It said Bad Bunny got 135.4 million, and it said Kendrick Lamar got 133.5 million. That's what it's saying right here.
What are you? Google it. Google had to change the numbers. Google had to change it. Google it, Tyrone. I don't know what you're looking at.
That's what I'm reading now.
You're reading in Google?
Yeah, right there. It's on the screen. It said Bad Bunny halftime show achieved record-breaking 135.4 million viewers, surpassing Kendrick Lamar's performance with 133.5.
Okay, wait a minute, because they announced it today. Super Bowl streaming numbers, because they announced it today all over ABC and all of the things. Okay, Super Bowl streaming numbers top spot. It was being announced all over the place. Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna put latest numbers behind this. See what happens.
Yeah, put the latest numbers, because unless I don't know why they would come out and change the numbers since this morning.
Yeah, I got caught in that snowstorm down by you, Tyrone, so I completely missed it, man.
Yeah, now this one says, based on Nielsen, Bad Bunny Super Bowl show averaged 128.2 million, making it the fourth most watched in history. While initial reports suggest higher figures, these numbers fell short of Kendrick Lamar, which 133.5. Yeah. So that's the news that you were talking about there. Okay.
Yeah.
But he did good anyway. I mean,
he did good regardless. Yeah. But I thought he was gonna pass it. Okay, top. Let me see. Top Super Bowl.
Now I got a question. So how stupid should that Turning Point USA halftime show? How should them motherfuckers feel? How should Kid Rock feel right now?
Well, the first thing I thought about, Mama's Boy, is like I said earlier, those are the same people that wanted separate bathrooms, separate drinking fountains, black people sit in the back of the bus. Now they want a separate goddamn halftime show for white America. And that's all that was a KKK rally at Turning Point USA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then not even that, their headliner originated his career with rap. So, I mean, what the fuck are they doing? I mean, Kid
Boy,
Rock started out as a rapper.
Hey, look. I don't think you put enough effort in it, dog. I mean, you the one had the relationship with Mike Hood.
I'm telling you, we could have been rich, Mama's boy. We could have had that. Oh man. Oh,
Did you see them goddamn shorts? That damn white boy, the same fucking outfit we was gonna put Mike Hood in. He out there fucking performing. Ain't that a bitch?
Oh man, yeah, I know, right? Damn.
I'm blaming it on you.
Because Michael Jackson, as a matter of fact, if he was able to do what he did back then, Michael Jackson still is the GOAT for that. Because what he was able to do back then was not all of the affiliates, not all of the streaming, not all of the this and that.
No, Michael Jackson today would have got bigger numbers than both of these guys.
Together, put both all three of them together.
No, because the added element to these Super Bowls here is politics. When people are telling these people not to watch the halftime, motherfuckers are saying, "Fuck y'all, I'm watching the halftime." So it's pumping their numbers up.
When Michael did it, they didn't have as many affiliates. They did not have streaming.
No.
Yeah, and it won't politicize. Like somebody said earlier, Lamar put a political message in his shit, and Bad Bunny clearly had a political message in his shit.
Well, when Prince sang Purple Rain and it rained, man, it's hard to top that one. That was something else, boy.
So, no, we just talking about the actual raw numbers. Yeah. Michael had the raw numbers.
Yeah.
But that was something else what Prince did. And then Usher was holding the record, and then Kendrick came along and beat him, and Rihanna was holding the record, and Usher beat her. Then Kendrick. It just seems like, depends on who it is, it can be broken. But if Michael Jackson had streaming and all of those affiliates back then, I don't think he would be. Because when the statisticians came out and they was doing all the numbers, they was like They said he might probably would have had 1 billion views, and no one would be able to reach that. So you have, just like music now, people's like they broke Michael Jackson record. Michael and them have raw numbers. Streaming, you can't. I mean, with these streaming numbers, I have Jay-Z's last album. I didn't buy that, but it got that. I'm listed as that. I purchased it, and I did all of that because it was the streaming thing was given to me free through Verizon. That kind of stuff. I didn't buy that. I didn't pay to stream that. But I got a free stream, so we all get counted in the numbers. All of the Verizon people get counted up in that. And that streaming is just, it's not really real numbers.
Yeah, but Turning Point USA, that was a miss. That just showed that this country is racist as shit. And I mean,
yeah.
And they don't even acknowledge that Puerto Rican man as an American. How silly is that? That is like nuts.
But they supposed to be so religious, and they headliner when people was pulling up music. What's his name? What's that dude's name? Kid Rock. Mm-hmm. When they was pulling up music from his past, he was talking about how he's about underage girls and statutory rape, and I'm gonna do this, that, and so on and so forth. And y'all supposed to be a Christian thing. And look who you got headlining. Everything is just...
The only qualification Kid Rock needed was his white skin. That's it. That's all he needed.
And then he supports Trump.
Yep.
That's it. He supports Trump. They don't care anything about his past.
Hell, they don't care about Donald Trump. They don't care about Donald Trump.
I don't know, Tyrone. At this point, it sounds like touching on kids is a requirement.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody able to do it.
It must be.
Yeah, because they were saying Erica Kirk was groomed because she was one of Trump's models or whatever. I don't know that much about that, but Melania was groomed. She came from Epstein, so all them people into that mess.
But y'all talk about Turning Point USA. One entity that they claim they don't give a damn about Jesus either. Because the things that they do, and I'm just gonna say it. Or Google. That's my opinion. They don't care nothing about Jesus. Because you have a sycophant as your headliner for your thing. You support all this evil and stuff like that. I'll use the word evil. Do y'all really care about Jesus?
No, they don't. They're just racist. They're just racist.
Because according to what the people say, Jesus wouldn't have been about none of this stuff.
No, that's all it is. A bunch of racists.
Bunch of racists and a bunch of BS. That's all it is. And they doing it under the cloak of Christianity.
Yeah, they use Christianity to justify their racism. And they think people are too stupid to see
Tyrone, I think sometimes you can get a better picture by taking a bigger look at something rather than a small look up close. You kind of like stand back and and when you look through the Trump administration, damn near all these motherfuckers' credentials have some version of them having inappropriate situation with a child. I'm just saying.
Well, either that or adultery or cheating or whatever. They don't give a crap about that.
Money laundering or some shit.
Yeah, they don't care.
They all criminals.
They don't care. I mean, you can tell they don't care whenever they made a decision to keep Luddick or whatever his name is, that lying motherfucker.
Yeah, I got my own name for him, Nutlick. I know who you talking about.
Well, he clearly lied about being on Epstein Island, and it came out in the damn files. He lied to the public, and then it came out, and then they saying that he's a professional, and we stand behind him. Okay, well, you stand behind fucking pedophiles.
Here's something funny. The guy behind all this election skullduggery in Fulton County, he got busted for voyeurism for installing secret cameras in the bathroom of his house.
Of course he did.
Wow.
All these dudes.
Wow. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Weird, perverse thing in their background.
Tyrone, this is what I'm talking. It seemed like you got to have this. Is got to be in your resume before you get hired.
Yeah, same thing. J.D. Vance with the sex couch, and all this and that.
Boy,
what is wrong with these dudes, man?
Hey, that was the weirdest confessional I had ever heard before in my life.
And we keep blaming these politicians, which they're terrible. But the people that need to blame is these damn people, these everyday people that put them in the office. I walk around here.
It's interesting you say that, Tyrone. I was talking to my nephew about politics, which he rarely does, but he thought of that as hypocrisy. It's like, I'm gonna just take ABC for an example, and then I'll go back out, Tyrone. He comes on here and he's talking about Pizzagate and all this and everything that he's like looking for Democrats to be doing. It's almost like he's unaware of Donald Trump and all his homies are doing it.
That's exactly what I was saying. I mean, you said a whole lot better than me, but that's exactly what I was saying.
And you, in my hood, we would be like, "Who the fuck is this nigga?" You know what I'm saying? But I don't understand how you unaware. Sarge is like the biggest question mark because he espouses all the things that he puts on the Democrats, and it's almost like he ain't see Donald Trump doing it. And then when you turn him and face Donald Trump and he gets to see Donald Trump doing it, somehow it's like, well, he didn't really do that. You got to prove that before I believe it. What the fuck?
All of their accusations are really confessions of what the hell they do. That's all that is.
I think so.
Every time they accuse somebody of something, they're the one that's guilty of it.
It's projections.
Yep.
They're saying it's out there. They're saying it's the Democrats, but it's what they're doing. And the easiest way you can find out is when you go digging. There they are.
Yeah.
Oh,
minute
wow.
that Trump started selling Bibles, they should have known right there. that something's, anytime you start profiting off selling Bibles,
Who does
profiting off
that?
of it, yeah, I know, right? Who does that? Yeah.
And white people ain't gonna never admit they was wrong. And that's the problem that we having is they're not going to admit that they're wrong. And you can just look at slavery. These people don't think that they was wrong about slavery, and they're never going to admit it. And we're never going to get reparations because they don't think that they was wrong. They try to justify it. They try to explain it away, and that's why you see the excuses that you see and getting made whenever they fuck up, whenever they break the law. They ain't never wrong. That's why he pardoned the January 6th people, because they won't wrong for that. They won't wrong for no goddamn insurrection because they ain't never wrong.
It don't fit his lie. Yeah, that shit don't fit his lie.
If you listen on Saturday, you're going to hear a bunch of guys telling each other they were right about everything. And the reality is this: if you were truly right about everything, you wouldn't have to say it. History will correct itself.
They won't write about
history will
shit.
announce itself.
They was not
right
about shit.
But they have to constantly keep saying, I was right about this, I was right about that, because again, history doesn't back that up. If you are right about something or right about a prediction, the fact that it happened and there's history to back it up, justifies everything you say. You don't have to go around claiming you're right about everything.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to explain to ABC earlier, is that pedophilia claim runs parallel to the QAnon conspiracies, but this pedophilia accusation comes with evidence this time because they got documents to show it. When it was QAnon, they was blaming Hillary Clinton and Joe Podesta and Pizzagate and all that kind of shit with no evidence of any of that shit.
But the funny thing is, they want us to take them seriously as intelligent human beings, but they can't overlay the QAnon conspiracy and replace names with names that are already on the record now.
Right.
And make the connection that, you might have been talking about a conspiracy because you was talking about these people, but you might have been talking about the truth when you find out it's these people. And Jeffrey Epstein wasn't at the head of the snake. The head of the snake is who was allowing Jeffrey Epstein to go do all this shit for him.
Right.
Yep. And listen, I don't give a shit what party you in, and you in this shit, then you fucking guilty. But their whole focus was only Democrats was doing all this evil shit. That's what their whole thing was. Democrats was pedophiles. Democrats was eating babies. But no, everybody down on that island eating babies, regardless of the damn party. They all eating babies. All of them is.
Well, there's a certain point in that world where you can never admit you're wrong, because then your world starts falling apart. And so, while your followers, you have to constantly keep feeding. Again, if you feed people, if you feed people red meat to get them to subscribe to you, follow, you have to keep feeding them red meat. The minute you stop, they'll either turn on you or they'll walk away, or both. And
they can stop now, Joe, because they primed. If they stop, what they'll do is they'll come up with their own goddamn conspiracies, because they can't be humble. They can't say I'm wrong. So they have to continue down that road. And that's the way Sarge and ABC is. Because I used to think that Sarge knew better, but now I think that he's just gone down that rabbit hole completely now.
He's too far gone. He's too far gone.
Yeah.
He's too far gone now. And so, when it all comes down, when the house of cards falls, Sarge is just gonna disappear. He's never calling again, because he knows he'll never be able to live up to the scrutiny that everybody has been saying for all these years. When you champion that idiot flag for so long, and you find out that the people that you threw your weight behind, aren't the people you thought they were, he'll disappear. Watch. He'll go on to other platforms with other ex-MAGA people, and they'll sit there and lick their wounds and privately think about, how could I have been so stupid?
No, Joe, don't say it ain't so. They're going to take us off the paper route. They're going to take us off the paper.
Well, this is what they wanted.
It's just, they're look, Did you see the video about the farmer that had the carrots?
No, I didn't see that.
And it is a video. There was a video. I forgot where it was. There's a farmer somewhere at Carrot Field, and he was saying that he had a contract to supply these carrots to a big ag house, and he had a month to harvest his carrots, but he had no workers. They had all been deported. So he's like, I'm by myself, and I got to harvest all these carrots. I'll never make my month contract in time. I'll lose the contract, and I'll be broke. So these guys are fucking around and finding out, more and more all around the country. It's wild. But due to the very violent nature of most white people, I don't think that Donald Trump and those guys in power are ready for the wave that's coming. I don't think that they're prepared for. In fact, I think they're starting to see it now, that people are going to react violently to these guys because they believe so much and got hoodwinked, and the end result is not going to be good. Not going to be good at all. And I have fear, man. Yeah, I have fear. Look, as I move around the city, I move around the city with caution and fear, man, because as you see in Canada and other places, when it bubbles to the surface, it could be anywhere and anybody, and a whole lot of innocent people could get hurt. And that's what scares me most. When ideologies fail and fall, then it's the public that pays the price.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, guys, I've been on here long enough tonight. I appreciate all of y'all for calling in. Miss Elisa, Joe, Mama's Boy, ABC, Howard. I got to get off here, though.
Yeah, me too.
But
we'll talk next week.
If the country is still here.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right, I'm gonna open up the lines here. Y'all can continue if you want to. But YouTube,
Q&A session is over. All participants are unmuted.
I'm getting ready to shut y'all down, YouTube. So if y'all want to call in, you can. But I'll holler at y'all later.
And Mike Hood, wherever you are, we could have been rich, brother. Oh well.
Why you keep calling that motherfucker? Don't call that motherfucker back over here. I'm missing.
Coleslaw, man. I'm telling you.
All right.